Douluo, Thunder Dragon Martial Soul, 100 Years of Glory. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176, The Power of the Evil God. Are you Yibai, the man who led Wuji Academy to defeat Wuhan Hall and win the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition? Kyan Rinxu seemed unconcerned with the battle ahead, yet she still had the leisure to ask Yibai. In fact, Kyan Rinxu did have the leisure to do so. At her level of status and position, many matters required only her instructions, and others would naturally carry out the work. Just like now, they had only encountered the dark devil evil god Tiger by chance, but their angel spirits instinctively demanded the annihilation of such an extremely evil being. The idea was hers, but the execution was carried out by the two titled Douluo. If the dark devil evil god Tiger proved unattainable, they could simply leave. None of them were tied up due to absorbing spirit rings. They would report the matter to her grandfather upon their return. Perhaps in Kyan Daoliu's eyes, this was something worthy of encouragement. However, she soon realized she had underestimated the dark devil evil god Tiger. Yibai stared squarely at him and replied simply, "It's just that I was a little luckier. You're being a little too modest. You and His Majesty Douluo came to the Stardao Great Forest, presumably because of your spirit rings. If I'm not mistaken, your spirit power level should have reached level 60 by now." Yibai didn't respond, but his acquiescence was clearly another form of acknowledgement. Kyan Rinxu then thought to herself, I remember he just broke through to Soul King not long ago. With such talent, even I can't match him. Kyan Rinxu marveled. After all, she possessed an innate level 20 spirit power. 19, barely 20 years old, a Soul Emperor, 2 10,000-year spirit rings, and a fourth one that's 10,000 year. Kyan Rinxu muttered. I'm afraid no one in the entire continent can reach your level of achievement. Kyan Rinxu fixed her gaze on Yibai. Douluo continent is teeming with talent. I'm but a grain of sand. Kyan Rinxu heard this, a playful smile playing on her lips. What a humble yet confident Yibai. Douluo continent is indeed home to many geniuses, but someone like you is truly unique. Kyan Rinxu suddenly changed the subject. Would you be willing to join my team? Kyan Rinxu regretted the moment she asked, wondering why she had suddenly said that. A top-tier talent like Yibai naturally harbored ambitions. Otherwise, this member of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan could have returned to the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan for better treatment and greater power. Furthermore, Yibai's refusal of Bibidang's offer, his establishment of his own Advanced Spirit Master Academy, and his involvement in the alliance between the Imperial family and the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile clan all revealed his ambitions. He was definitely not one to remain under someone else's wing. Yibai was slightly taken aback by Kyan Rinxu's words. Thank you for your appreciation, but I'm sorry, I'm from the Heaven Dao Empire, and have a close relationship with its Crown Prince Zuking. Besides, I'm already an employee of the Advanced Spirit Master Academy. I'm sorry, I can't agree to this request. A flicker of surprise crossed Kyan Rinxu's eyes, but she quickly regained her composure. She nodded slightly, seemingly unsurprised by Yibai's response. I respect your choice. But please remember, if you ever change your mind, the doors of my spirit hall will always be open to you. But the current Pope of the Spirit Hall and I are not on the same page. She hadn't expected such a surprising outcome. Being on good terms with the Heaven Dao Empire's Crown Prince Zuking meant being on good terms with her, wasn't it? Yibai clasped his fists and said, thank you for your understanding. However, right now, we should focus on this battle. That dark demon evil god Tiger doesn't seem like a formidable opponent. You actually know this spirit beast? Kyan Rinxu was quite surprised by this. They hadn't expected that other factions besides their spirit hall would have records of this spirit beast. This was because records of spirit beasts like the dark demonic evil god Tiger were so rare. The dark demonic evil god Tiger was incredibly powerful. While spirit beasts generally harbored the potential of a human spirit, this one was an exception. No human had ever possessed it. It wasn't inherently dark in nature, but rather a profoundly evil attribute left behind by the evil god, a power that the human body couldn't withstand. If one were to assess its spirit's rank, it would be on par with a six-winged angel. The dark demonic evil god tiger possessed an extremely domineering nature. Its growth wasn't achieved through self-cultivation. Cultivation itself was extremely difficult. It could only rapidly increase its strength by devouring the spirit power of other spirit beasts or human spirit masters. Therefore, wherever this spirit beast appeared, it would immediately draw the attention of other spirit beasts, who would desperately seek to destroy it before it could become too powerful. Even a 1,000-year-old dark demonic evil god tiger was rare, let alone one that had cultivated for over 60,000 years before them. This is why Kyan Rinxu and her companions chose to kill the dark demon evil god tiger the moment they discovered it. While the Spirit Hall's members may be a bit overbearing, they are impeccable at combating crime and eradicating evil. Yibai asked, I read it in an ancient book. Kyan Rinxu didn't ask any further questions, returning her gaze to the battlefield. 3 titled Douluo were collectively besieging the dark demon evil god tiger. The battle was incredibly intense, with surging energy waves rippling through the entire Stardao Great Forest. At that moment, the situation on the battlefield suddenly shifted. Under the siege of the 3 titled Douluo, the dark demon evil god tiger unleashed even greater power. The dark demon evil god tiger seemed to be growing impatient with the 3 titled Douluo. Their continuous attacks were gradually worsening its injuries. While it wasn't seriously injured at the moment, continued damage would be a nuisance to it. The dark demon evil god tiger was incredibly intelligent, and it was already considering retreating. Before departing, however, it still needed to recoup some interest. After wielding the evil god's power from its scorpion tail, the dark demon evil god tiger broke through the encirclement of the 3 titled Douluos and flew towards Yibai and Kyan Rinxu. Young master, boy. Seeing this, Snakespear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo didn't hesitate, igniting their own power and reaching Kyan Rinxu at a speed even faster than the dark demon evil god tiger. The dark demon evil god tiger's long tail, which had transformed from the evil god hook into the evil god thorn, had already swung, and a flash of black light instantly appeared between it. Yibai, Kyan Rinxu, Snakespear Douluo, and Thorny Porpoise Douluo. A powerful black light erupted, transforming into a vast black void 3 meters in diameter. Chapter 177, Time Travels Back, Arena of Life and Death. A dark, black void completely enveloped Yibai, Kyan Rinxu, and the others. The next moment, they, along with the dark demon evil tiger, vanished. What? Douluo's face paled at the sight. Meanwhile, Yibai and the others suddenly felt everything around them plunge into darkness, their bodies feeling weightless. Even more puzzling, they could sense their spirit power fluctuations weakening, and their bodies seemed to undergo strange changes. They tried to stop these changes, but they were powerless. They could only watch as this continued. Yibai had a rough idea of what was happening. He knew what was happening, but the others didn't. How is this possible? What kind of skill is this? Why are we here? Kyan Rinxu, who had always remained calm, panicked for the first time. Oh no. This dark demon evil tiger actually has such power. We've put the young master in such danger. No matter what, even if it means sacrificing my own life, I will protect the young master. Snakespear Douluo was, after all, an older man with much experience, yet deep down he still held the thought of protecting Kyan Rinxu. The same held true for Thorny Porpoise Douluo. This was also due to the fact that they had families behind them. If Kyan Rinxu was safe, their families would be safe too. Their bodies continued to shrink. Suddenly, the surroundings brightened, and they felt grounded. With the physical touch of something, Kyan Rinxu was surprised to discover they had arrived in a strange space. It resembled a giant arena, seemingly circular, yet boundless. The sky was devoid of clouds, sun, or stars, only endless darkness. And that light emanated from the arena itself. The environment here was deeply oppressive. It wasn't just Kyan Rinxu. Snakespear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo were also in the same state. Even though they were already titled Douluo powerhouses, they had never seen such a situation before. Thorny Porpoise Douluo, Snake Spear Douluo, and Kyan Rinksu hadn't yet reacted to the changes in their bodies. They were more focused on their surroundings. Young Yibai maintained a calm demeanor. He looked at Thorny Porpoise Douluo, Snake Spear Douluo, and Kyan Rinksu, who had also rejuvenated themselves to 6 years old, and he actually found it quite amusing. Kyan Rinksu was already very beautiful before the age of 6. Thorny Porpoise Douluo and Snake Spear Douluo were also quite handsome in their youth. However, the Thorny Porpoise Douluo and Snake Spear Douluo's calm demeanor upon seeing young Yibai's small face made them look at him with a certain respect. "Why have you shrunk?" Snake Spear Douluo asked. Young Yibai turned to look at Snake Spear Douluo, a hint of a smile in his eyes. "It's not just me, look at yourselves." Kyan Rinksu, hearing this, lowered her head to examine herself, her eyes widening. "I've shrunk too." Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo also noticed the changes in themselves. They stared at each other, unsure how to react. Thorny Porpoise Douluo muttered to himself, "What's going on? How did we all become so much younger?" Young Yibai explained, "This must be the effect of the dark demon evil god Tiger's skill. It teleported us into this dimension and transported us back to a certain point in our past." Just then, they also saw their opponent, the dark demon evil god Tiger. To their surprise, it seemed to have changed as well. The dark demon evil god Tiger appeared 30 meters in front of them, sharing the same arena. The dark demon evil god Tiger was watching them, but now its eyes were filled with anger, and it roared continuously, losing its previous composure. The dark demonic evil god Tiger's body was originally a full 8 meters long and incredibly majestic. Its wings, spread out, seemed to obscure the sky and the sun. But now, not only were its wings gone, but its tail had become a mere tiger's, with the evil hooker pitifully small, devoid of any energy fluctuations. Its main body had shrunk to just 1.5 meters, vastly smaller than before. While it had previously been incredibly ferocious, the dark demonic evil god Tiger now looked rather adorable, more like a large black cat. It seems we've all shrunk, and the dark demonic evil god Tiger's power has returned to its previous state. Snake Spear Douluo attempted to summon his martial spirit, but he quickly realized his efforts were in vain. He now possessed only the memories and combat experience of a titled Douluo, but no martial spirit to use. The dark demonic evil god Tiger's ultimate move, called the Arena of Life and Death, possessed the power of time and space. It transported everyone to a special dimension, then used its ability to reverse time and transform them, along with the dark demonic evil god Tiger itself, back to their younger selves. At 6 years old, most of them hadn't yet awakened their spirits. But there was one exception, Kyan Rinksu, who, for unknown reasons, could use her spirit. Young Yibai looked at Kyan Rinksu with a puzzled expression. Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo were similarly impressed. "I've been blessed by the angel god," Kyan Rinksu explained simply. She didn't even know the reason herself, so she could only attribute the achievement to the angel god. Roar. The dark demon evil god Tiger roared, charging towards the four. It was common knowledge that a 6-year-old human was no match for a spirit beast, and the young dark demon evil god Tiger was clearly even more powerful. Young Yibai had previously tried using his external spirit bone, Thunder, but to no avail. Seeing Kyan Rinksu still able to use her spirit, he couldn't help but sigh in admiration, truly a person favored by the gods. Then, when he saw the dark demon evil god Tiger lunging towards them, he immediately pulled out a spear, a shield, and 2 swords from the storage soul device on his finger. He gave the spear directly to Snake Spear Douluo, the sword and shield to Thorny Porpoise Douluo, and young Yibai took a sword for himself. He had carefully placed these weapons in his storage soul device, and since they were made in Zhengjin City, they were of reliable quality. "Good boy." Snake Spear Douluo praised silently. Facing the dark demon evil god Tiger's pounds, Thorny Porpoise Douluo, after obtaining his weapons, immediately rushed to the front, his small body raised high with a shield. The shield directly blocked the dark demon evil god Tiger's first blow. At the same time, young Yibai and Snake Spear Douluo had already reached the dark demon evil god Tiger's sides. Chapter 178 God's Blessing, the advantage is in my hands. Facing the dark demon evil god Tiger's pounds, Thorny porpoise Douluo, having acquired his weapon, immediately rushed to the front, his small frame raised high as a shield. The shield directly blocked the dark demon evil god tiger's first blow. Meanwhile, Yibai and Snake Spear Douluo had already reached either side of the dark demon evil god tiger. They drew their weapons and lunged at the dark demon evil god tiger. However, as their weapons approached the dark demon evil god tiger, a thin black shield appeared on its body, preventing them from advancing any further. Damn beast. Snake Spear Douluo cursed inwardly. Yibai had anticipated this. The power of a soul beast was beyond the reach of ordinary humans. Roar. The dark demon evil god tiger roared, and a surge of power erupted from its body. This force instantly spread in all directions. Thorny porpoise Douluo felt as if his shield were struck by an invisible immense force. He involuntarily took several steps back, the ground beneath his feet cracking in the force. Yibai and Snake Spear Douluo also felt the pressure of this force. Their faces changed slightly, and they quickly adjusted their postures and stabilized their positions. Yibai was secretly shocked. The strength of this dark demon evil god tiger was indeed extraordinary. No wonder even the spirit hall was wary of it. We can't let it continue like this. We must work together to subdue it. Thorny porpoise Douluo gritted his teeth, enduring the huge impact from his shield and shouting loudly. Yibai and Snake Spear Douluo looked at each other and nodded. They knew that at this moment, only by uniting together could they have a chance of defeating this terrifying soul beast. Leave its shield to me, Rinxu said from behind. Rinxu might be under the direct protection of the gods, so although she might not be able to help much in battle now, she was definitely more than enough in terms of support. Rinxu's angelic spirit unleashed a divine light, illuminating Yibai and the other two, cloaking them in a faint golden glow. This light not only enhanced their defenses, but also lifted their spirits, as if all fatigue and pain were instantly healed. Simultaneously, as this holy light descended upon the dark demonic evil god tiger, its aura weakened, its thin black shield instantly dissolving. With Rinxu here, our chances of victory are even better, Yibai thought to himself. He knew full well that Rinxu's angelic spirit possessed the power of purification and protection, undoubtedly a tremendous aid to the team. Meanwhile, the dark demonic evil god tiger, seemingly sensing the threat of Rinxu's divine light, roared even more fiercely, its eyes flashing with a frenzied fire, as if consuming anything that stood in its way. Boy, protect the young master. Leave this beast to us. Snake Spear Douluo immediately saw what the dark demon evil god tiger was up to, and addressed Yibai. Don't underestimate us. We are titled Douluos. Snake Spear Douluo shouted, and the spear in his hand suddenly shone brightly. It was like a living giant python slithering through the air, carrying a fierce murderous intent, aiming directly at the dark demon evil god tiger's vitals. Not to be outdone, Thorny porpoise Douluo followed closely behind Snake Spear Douluo. He controlled his breathing, concentrating all his strength on his shield, preparing to once again withstand the dark demon evil god tiger's fierce attacks, while looking for an opportunity to counterattack. Don't worry about me. You go too. I have soul power. I can protect myself, Rinxu said. Yibai, upon hearing this, did not hesitate, and turned to attack the dark demon evil god tiger, his weapon gleaming with a cold light. Thorny porpoise Douluo played a protective role, while also trying to attract the dark demon evil god tiger's hatred. Snake Spear Douluo had no problem with Yibai, who had been chased by Rinxu. Yibai moved with lightning speed, quickly approaching the dark demon evil god tiger. His weapon traced a brilliant trail through the air, striking the tiger's head. However, the dark demon evil god tiger was no pushover. It easily dodged Yibai's attack by shifting its body to the side, and at the same time, its scorpion tail swiped out, whipping towards Yibai with a whistling sound. Yibai's heart trembled, and he quickly retreated. Fortunately, Snake Spear threw his spear, deflecting the scorpion tail, and allowing him to narrowly avoid the attack. Meanwhile, Snake Spear Douluo caught the spear, and launched a second attack, while Thorny porpoise Douluo stood guard at his side, his shield like a solid wall, blocking every attack from the dark demon evil god tiger. Yibai flashed, appearing like a ghost at the dark demon evil god tiger's flank. His weapon traced a cold trail through the air, aiming directly at the dark demon evil god tiger's waist. Their strength had been drastically reduced due to the time reversal, and the Dark Demon Evil God Tiger's juvenile energy was equally low. The Dark Demon Evil God Tiger felt unlucky. It had encountered situations like this before. Other human spirit masters who had similar ambitions against it had been dragged into the life or death arena by the Dark Demon Evil God Tiger before, but without exception, they were quickly dispatched. The Dark Demon Evil God Tiger, maintaining its confidence, didn't want to let go of those it hated, nor did it want to miss out on prey that could further its strength. Therefore, it dragged these four into the time reversal arena. However, this time, a surprise arose. First, there was Kanrinksu, a despised human who could still use her martial spirit power, and then there were Yibai and the other formidable opponents. It had assumed that, even if these men's strength had been greatly diminished by the time travel, as a juvenile Dark Demon Evil God Tiger, with its innate fighting instincts and cunning abilities, it would be able to easily defeat them one by one, then devour their power to strengthen itself. However, events unfolded far beyond its expectations. The Dark Demon Evil God Tiger was overconfident. Yibai had even taken out his powerful bow, and now several arrows were still lodged in its body. Roar. The Dark Demon Evil God Tiger let out a deafening roar, its eyes filled with resentment and anger. Gradually, a Dark Demon Evil Thunderbolt was forming before it. This one was much smaller than the previous one. However, this was enough for the Dark Demon Evil God Tiger. The Dark Demon Evil God Tiger was convinced that, even if this concentrated divine thunderbolt didn't directly strike them, exploding nearby would be powerful enough to subdue them and end the battle. Moreover, its target was Kanrinksu, the one they had been protecting. The Dark Demonic Evil Tiger recklessly charged towards Kanrinksu. Its strategy was successful, as Snake Spear and Thorny Porpoise rushed towards Kanrinksu to protect her. Chapter 179 Soulbone Fragments reveal their power. Kanrinksu had been a bystander for a while, but now she finally had a chance to show her abilities. With Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo back on the defensive, her safety was assured. Divine power surged from her body, transforming into a dazzling holy light barrier that firmly protected her and those behind her. The holy light embodied a pure and luminous power, forming a stark contrast to the surrounding darkness. After all, she was still only a chosen one, a level 20 innate spirit master without any spirit skills. Therefore, her spirit power was limited in her offensive methods. She had witnessed the power of the Dark Demonic Thunder before. Its detonation dealt immense damage and had a wide range. Previously, they had still had spirit power to protect them, but now, they were completely exposed to it. If she didn't block the Dark Demonic Thunder, it would likely put them at a disadvantage. Boom. The Dark Demonic Thunder slammed into the holy light barrier with a deafening roar. The porcupine and snake spears each planted their weapons in the ground, steadying themselves to avoid being blown away by the blast. Roar. Seeing its attack blocked, the Dark Demonic Evil God Tiger immediately attempted a sideways sneak attack. The porcupine and snake spear, buffeted by the turbulence, were unable to immediately intervene, but they were Kanrinksu's last line of defense. Yibai, standing nearby, immediately moved to stop the Dark Demonic Evil God Tiger. It seems it's at the end of its strength, Yibai thought to himself. Yibai's blade clashed with the Dark Demonic Evil God Tiger's claws, creating a metallic clang. Roar. The Dark Demonic Evil God Tiger ordered Yibai, its scorpion tail whipping towards him. Yibai strengthened his arms, using the momentum to launch himself backward, dodging the Dark Demonic Evil God Tiger's attack. If you're truly useful, let me see your skills. Yibai said to the fragment of his mind, shimmering with 9-colored light. This soulbone fragment was truly miraculous. It was the only item related to soul power he could sense, after being transported back in time. His other martial souls, soul bones, and soul rings were gone. In this life or death arena, governed by a unique force field, this mysterious soul bone fragment in his mind could break these rules, a testament to its own extraordinary power. The last person to break these rules was the divinely favored Kanrinksu. As if sensing Yibai's expectations, the mysterious soul bone fragment in his mind, shimmering with 9-colored light, suddenly began to flicker with a high frequency, as if responding to Yibai's wishes. Suddenly, within Yan Yibei's spiritual sea of consciousness, the shimmering 9-colored light suddenly surged. Yan Yibei felt a surge of power emanating from the fragment, resonating strongly with the depths of his soul. This, Yan Yibei's heart trembled, followed by a wave of joy. With the infusion of this power, Yan Yibei's body underwent subtle changes. His eyes became unusually bright, and a faint 9-colored light shone within them. A faint glint of light flashed across his skin, as if an invisible shield were quietly forming. Yan Yibei could feel his strength, speed, reflexes, and even his awareness of his surroundings, all experiencing unprecedented heights at that moment. Roar. The dark demonic evil tiger observed Yan Yibei's sudden transformation, its keen intuition telling it that the human, before it had changed. Yan Yibei took a deep breath, feeling the newfound power within him. The feeling of power was truly wonderful. This kid, what exactly happened to him? Snake Spear observed Yan Yibei's transformation, a flash of thought in his eyes. Good boy. This kid is lucky to be related to the young master. If he were an enemy, I would never let him grow up. Kyan Rinxu's gaze was fixed on Yan Yibei, filled with confusion and curiosity. She was well aware of the special rules of this life or death arena. With the exception of herself, a favored one, who could use soul power, everyone else was supposed to be restricted within these rules. However, the power Yan Yibei displayed at this moment clearly exceeded these limits. Kyan Rinxu, I'm favored by the angel god. Why is he able to use his soul power in this special time and space? Is he also favored by a certain deity? No, his situation seems different from mine. Kyan Rinxu speculated, but quickly dismissed the idea. Besides the angel god, the only other deity she had heard of was the sea god, and the sea god's legacy would never appear on Douluo continent. And if it truly was divine power, she would definitely be able to detect it. Meanwhile, Yan Yibei's battle with the dark demon evil god tiger had reached a fever pitch. Empowered by Yan Yibei's newfound power, he gradually gained the upper hand. Though incredibly ferocious, the dark demon evil god tiger began to struggle under Yan Yibei's continuous attacks. Bang! Yan Yibei launched another attack, a brilliant 9-colored light streaking through the sky, slamming fiercely into the dark demon evil god tiger. The dark demon evil god tiger screamed, its body flung back by the force, slamming heavily to the ground. He flashed, appearing like a ghost at the side of the dark demonic evil god tiger. With lightning speed, he swung his sword, aiming directly at its vitals. The dark demonic evil god tiger spun around, attempting to dodge, but the force rendered its movements unnecessary. 9-colored streamer slash. Yan Yibei shouted softly. His sword traced a dazzling 9-colored path through the air, carrying an unstoppable force as it collided with the dark demonic evil god tiger's claws. Bang! With a resounding bang, the two forces clashed fiercely in the air, erupting in a dazzling burst of light. The dark demonic evil god tiger was shaken back by the force, its eyes filled with fear and resentment. Under the force, the dark demonic evil god tiger's 2-meter-long body completely exploded. The difficult battle was finally over. Everything around them distorted, and all space shattered in an instant, and endless darkness swept in again. A moment later, a brilliant light shone, and Yan Yibei felt a lightness throughout his body. When he landed on solid ground again, they were already back in the Stardao Great Forest. The sense of strength they had lost in the special space had returned to their bodies. All their strength had returned. Not far in front of them, the dark demon evil god tiger had already lost its life force. A jet black spirit ring floated above its massive corpse. Chapter 180 Dark Demonic Evil Pearl. Within the spirit ring, there was a strange bead. The bead appeared completely black, yet it emitted a cyan blue glow. Yan Yibei regained consciousness the fastest, because he had been the first to kill the dark demon evil tiger. Upon waking, he saw the bead hidden within the black spirit ring. As Yan Yibei and the others emerged from that special space, a black hole suddenly appeared around the strange bead, and the bead, seemingly drawn to it, flew towards it. Lord Dugu, stop it! Yan Yibei shouted to Dugubo, who was standing there. Although Dugubo didn't understand what was happening, he immediately took action after Yan Yibei's words. 9 soul rings emerged around Dugubo. He reached out for the dark, dual-hued bead. A surge of powerful soul energy surged from his body, forming a solid barrier that momentarily blocked the bead. However, the black hole's pull was incredibly strong, and the bead trembled violently in midair, seemingly attempting to break free from Douluo's grasp. HMPH. Douluo snorted coldly, his gaze fixed on the strange black bead. While he was puzzled by Yibai and the other's sudden disappearance and reappearance, Yibai's eagerness suggested that the black bead that had suddenly appeared on the dark demon evil god tiger was anything but ordinary. Yibai's sudden warning prompted Douluo to unleash all his strength to block the bead for a moment, preventing it from being immediately drawn away by the black hole. Rinsu, upon regaining consciousness, also heard Yibai's words. Without hesitation, Rinsu also exerted her own power to block the attack. She unleashed her angelic spirit, wings spreading lightly, and a golden glow instantly enveloped her body, a sacred and powerful aura permeating her. With a wave of her hands, 2 golden rays shot towards the black bead like sharp swords, attempting to free it from the black hole's gravity. Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo, who had recovered after seeing Rinsu's actions, joined in the attempt. Snake Spear Douluo, spear in hand, appeared at the black bead's side with lightning speed, swinging his spear with a fierce venom and a sharp edge, attempting to sever the connection between the bead and the black hole. Thorny Porpoise Douluo waved his hands, sending dozens of sharp, dark red beams raining down like a torrential rain, blocking all possible escape routes for the bead. However, the black bead, as if possessing a will of its own, struggled against the resistance, attempting to break free and re-enter the black hole's embrace. Although the black hole's pull was strong, thanks to Yibai's forewarning and everyone's combined efforts, the light on the bead's surface began to dim. Yibai made a final move, harnessing his own strength. A flash of thunder followed, a flash of purple light. With a single slash of thunder, the purple lightning blade severed the remaining attraction between the black bead and the black hole. Finally freed from the black hole's pull, the black bead fell helplessly in midair, where Yibai caught it. He gripped the bead tightly, sensing the strange energy within, and an indescribable excitement welled up within him. "We've stopped it." Yibai breathed a sigh of relief. Douluo, Rinsu, Snake Spear Douluo, and Thorny Porpoise Douluo also gathered around. "What just happened?" Douluo asked Yibai. "This soul beast unleashed a unique soul skill that can interfere with space and time." Yibai briefly recounted what had happened. "The dark demon evil god tiger? There's actually such a soul beast." Douluo pondered after hearing this. "This thing is truly evil." Just then, Rinsu approached, followed by Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo. Rinsu's gaze fixed on the strange bead in Yibai's hand. Her brow furrowed slightly as she continued. "The dark demon evil god tiger is an extremely rare and sinister soul beast, and this bead, to drop from it and trigger such a strange phenomenon, is definitely not something one can easily obtain." Snake Spear Douluo nodded, adding, "I've never seen such a strange bead before. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to steal it from you. First, it's your trophy. Secondly, the evil power within this bead is something our spirit hall cannot tolerate. It's just that the evil power within this bead might be detrimental to you. I think I can help you dispel that evil power." Although the dark demon evil god tiger was dead, the evil power within it remained. It was fortunate that the bead fell into their hands. If it had escaped and been obtained by another spirit beast or spirit master, the evil power would have continued. Once the creature possessed by the evil power successfully grew up, it might have been another disaster. So, regardless of Yibai's consent, Rinsu must eliminate the evil power, at least eliminate most of the evil power within the bead. "Okay." Yibai generously handed the dark demon evil bead to Rinsu. He didn't worry at all that Rinsu would covet it. The spirit hall would most likely not keep evil items, but would only destroy them. As for whether they would destroy it, after handing it to Rinsu, Yibai was even less worried. The dark demon evil god tiger was a unique spirit beast that possessed a portion of the evil god's power. With Rinsu's current strength, she was afraid she wouldn't be able to destroy the bead. Rinsu didn't take the dark demon evil pearl, but instead used her own power to suspend it in midair. A solemn look flashed in her eyes. She slowly raised her hand, palm up, and the pearl hovered above it. Golden soul power began to gather around her, forming a dazzling light shield that tightly enveloped the pearl. Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo watched quietly from the sidelines. If anything went wrong, they would immediately take action. The living evil power was a threat to Kan Rinxu, but the dead dark demon evil god tiger was not necessarily the same. The dark demon evil god tiger was dead, and the circle of black soul rings still exuded an extremely cold aura. The power of extreme evil and evil affected the surroundings. Compared to the dark gold terror claw bear's soul ring, the dark demon evil god tiger's soul ring was obviously superior. He had originally coveted the soul ring of the dark demon evil god tiger, but at that time, he and Douluo were no match for the dark demon evil god tiger. Even with the addition of Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo, Yibai still wanted to drive away the dark demon evil god tiger, so that he could continue to harvest the dark gold terror claw bear. Chapter 181 Huge Improvement, Level 65. As he slowly approached the pitch black spirit ring, the air around him seemed to grow heavier and more oppressive as he approached. Waves of evil energy seemed to surge from the spirit ring, threatening to devour him. Boy, are you ready to absorb this spirit ring? Douluo had appeared beside him at some point. This spirit ring looks quite sinister. Douluo, sensing the sinister, cold aura, his face heavy. This spirit beast's intelligence rivals even that of a 100,000-year-old spirit beast. The spirit ring contains the remnant of the spirit beast. Douluo hesitated. As a titled Douluo who had fought against the dark demon evil god tiger, Douluo knew only too well the power of the dark demon evil god tiger. Douluo wasn't concerned about whether Yibai's body could withstand the power of the spirit ring, but he was more concerned about the remnant of the spirit beast within. Master, I never do anything without confidence. You should be aware of that. Yibai's confidence in absorbing the dark demon evil god tiger at only level 60 naturally stemmed from the magical spirit bone fragment in his mind. In the special rules of the life and death arena, this soul bone fragment could even break the constraints of the rules. This soul bone fragment was undoubtedly something extraordinary. It could destroy the dark demon evil god tiger's special abilities in the arena, so it should be sufficient to block even a small portion of its remnant. Yibai also suspected that even more of the dark demon evil god tiger's remnant might be trapped within that dark bead. Just be aware of this. Yibai gazed at the black soul ring emanating sinister power. Then, golden lightning began to pulse through his body. His martial spirit possessed him, and 5 soul rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple, and 2 black appeared beneath him. The supreme yang power of thunder was a perfect nemesis of evil. This was one of the reasons Yibai dared to absorb the dark demon evil god tiger's soul ring. Yibai used his soul power to draw the soul ring toward him. As the soul ring left his body, the massive corpse of the dark demon evil god tiger outside began to dissipate into wisps of grey air, slowly dissipating. As the pitch black spirit ring slowly approached, a powerful evil force surged like a tide, threatening to devour his entire soul. However, Yibai's resolve was unwavering, and he showed no sign of retreat. Want to devour me? Then come and try. Yibai thought to himself. He then completely entered a state of spirit ring absorption. Elsewhere, Kan Rinxu exerted her power to dissipate much of the evil energy within the black bead. At least from the outside, the evil force seemed much weaker. Perhaps there were deeper resentments hidden within, but Kan Rinxu couldn't discern them yet. Kan Rinxu didn't catch the dark demonic evil orb directly, but instead contained it in a box. She then noticed Yibai absorbing the spirit ring. Kan Rinxu frowned slightly. She felt Yibai was being a bit too bold. Putting aside the evil power of the dark demon evil god tiger, let's just talk about its age. The dark demon evil god tiger is also a terrifying soul beast that is up to 60,000 years old. Not to mention that the dark demon evil god tiger also has a powerful evil remnant. Although Kan Rinxu was somewhat dissatisfied with Yibai's recklessness in her heart, she still came to a distance from Yibai. If Yibai encounters an accident while absorbing the soul ring, she will take action immediately. Yibai is someone she is optimistic about. His future achievements are limitless, and judging from the current situation, they have a very good cooperative relationship. Thorny Porpoise Douluo, as always, stayed by Kan Rinxu's side. Although they had experience fighting the dark demon evil god tiger together, they still had to take precautions when facing Douluo, a titled Douluo who was a casual cultivator. Snake Spear Douluo went to the golden flame dragon. As Yan Yibai absorbed the spirit ring, the spirit bone fragment in his mind continued to emit a multicolored light, helping him gradually erode the evil energy of the dark demon evil god tiger's spirit ring. While absorbing the spirit ring, the dark demon evil god tiger's black spirit ring did not experience any significant resentment. Yan Yibai now clearly understood that the dark demon evil god tiger's soul was likely contained within the dark bead. Despite the assistance of the three titled Douluo and Kan Ringsu, the black bead carrying the dark demon evil god tiger's soul was unable to escape. Yan Yibai was also well aware that Kan Ringsu's divine power could suppress the remaining dark demon evil god tiger soul within the black bead, but completely wiping it out was unlikely. Although the bead had been transported to another world due to spatial turbulence in the original timeline, the spatial turbulence also indirectly weakened the dark demon evil god tiger's soul, perhaps even completely obliterating it, leaving behind a bead of pure energy. The bead dropped by the dark demon evil god tiger upon its death was its natal bead. This bead contained the dark demon evil god tiger's primordial energy, encompassing the four energies of evil: thunder, lightning, wind, and strength. This energy was incredibly powerful, and Yan Yibai's possession of it meant he might possess all four energies. While Yan Yibai knew the black bead was a great opportunity for him, he wasn't confident he could tame the evil god's power at the moment. The power of a god was beyond mortal comprehension. It took Yan Yibai nearly 3 hours to absorb the dark demon evil god tiger's spirit ring. After absorbing it, Yan Yibai could feel his own spirit rings and mental strength surge. After absorbing the 6th spirit ring, Yan Yibai's spirit power reached the peak of level 65, just one step away from level 66. His spiritual power surpassed that of a typical soul sage, reaching the level typically reserved for soul Douluos. This boost extended beyond just his soul power and spiritual strength. Under the influence of the dark demon evil god tiger's spirit ring, several other attributes also saw significant increases. In the original timeline, Tang San killed the dark demon evil god tiger at level 93. After absorbing the dark demon evil god tiger's spirit ring, Tang San's soul power soared from level 93 to level 94.5, and his spiritual power increased by 5% of his titled Douluo level. Tang San could increase his soul power by 1.5 levels during his titled Douluo period. Yan Yibai's soul power increased by nearly 6 levels, and that was a conservative estimate. If it had been solely based on superficial soul power, Yan Yibai would likely be a level 67 soul emperor by now. The dark demon evil god tiger's inherent qualities were truly astonishing, worthy of a super soul beast capable of rivaling 200,000-year-old soul beasts with only 60,000 years of cultivation. Chapter 182 Hunting the Dark Gold Tear or Claw Bear. Upon seeing Yan Yibai awake, Douluo and Kan Ringsu breathed a sigh of relief. After all, they both had high hopes for Yan Yibai, and didn't want anything to happen to him. However, Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo, upon seeing Yan Yibai successfully absorb the dark demon evil god tiger's spirit ring, showed a flicker of surprise. For them, the fact that Yan Yibai's 6th spirit ring absorbed a 60,000-year spirit ring, a far superior achievement, was surprising, but not surprising. This kid actually managed it. Snake Spear Douluo marveled. Well, even an ordinary soul sage would fail to absorb this spirit beast's spirit ring. This kid really has some skills. Thorny Porpoise Douluo chimed in, his tone tinged with approval. Here, I give it back to you. Kan Ringsu handed Yan Yibai the box containing the dark demon evil god tiger's natal bead. I've already sapped most of the evil power of this bead. However, I don't recommend using it right now. I suggest you wait until you're stronger before using it. Okay. Yan Yibai accepted the dark demon evil god tiger's bead. He had already decided where to store it. Yes, it was within the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Regardless of whether the dark demon evil god tiger's soul was still hidden within the dark demon evil bead, once it was within the unique environment of the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, it would have a powerful suppressive effect on the souls of any living being. Furthermore, within the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, the souls of 2 dragon kings slumbered. The remaining soul of the dark demon evil god tiger was nothing more than a little karami to them. After handing the item to Yan Yibai, Kan Ringsu arrived before the 70,000-year-old golden flame dragon. With a single sword strike, she ended the golden flame dragon's life. A pitch black spirit ring emerged from the golden flame dragon's body. Kyan Rinxu began to absorb the spirit ring. Thanks to the dark demon evil god Tiger's help, the golden flame dragon was severely damaged. Its injuries were far more severe than those of the dark gold terror claw bear. Furthermore, while Douluo was supporting Kyan Rinxu, he had poisoned both the golden flame dragon and the dark gold terror claw bear, severely weakening both spirit beasts. The golden flame dragon now had a third of its body severed, along with its horn. This was the work of the dark gold terror claw bear, whose injuries were less severe than the golden flame dragon. After devouring a third of the golden flame dragon, it fled, its wounded form dragging itself away. However, a trail of blood remained along its path, leaving Yibai, Douluo, and the others with a chance to hunt it down. However, Yibai and Douluo, adhering to the principle of helping others to the end, remained at the outer perimeter to protect Kyan Rinxu, while she absorbed her spirit ring. Douluo disliked the spirit hall, but he was a complete fool. His designated grandson-in-law had already reaped the greatest benefits, so he naturally didn't mind showing some goodwill. The martial arts world isn't about bloodshed, and this was clearly embodied when facing the powerful spirit hall angels. After Kyan Rinxu successfully absorbed her spirit ring, Yibai bid farewell to her and the others. Kyan Rinxu sincerely promised them that they would meet again soon. She was determined to win Yibai over to her side, no matter the cost. It was Bibidang. Although she wielded all the power of the spirit hall, save for the elders hall, Kyan Rinxu was eager to see who would have the last laugh. By now, Kyan Rinxu and Bibidang had grown to dislike each other. While both ultimately aimed to unify the continent, their underlying motivations were quite different. Bibidang's unification was driven by personal motives, while Kyan Rinxu's desire to expand the faith of the angel god was, in some ways, also for the sake of peace on the continent. As for Snakespear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo, they had always viewed the situation from the outside. They knew Yibai, and knew a great deal about him, which was why they were so indulgent towards Douluo and Yibai. If it were anyone else, the Snakespear and Thorn Porpoise would have attacked anyone who tried to approach their young master. After parting ways with Kyan Rinxu and the others, Yibai and Douluo followed the blood trail left by the dark gold terror claw bear, and rushed towards it. Douluo had once wondered why Yibai, having already obtained a spirit ring, was still chasing that vicious spirit beast. Yibai responded, soul beasts like the dark gold terror claw bear are rare. Today, it battled to top tier soul beasts, sustaining severe injuries, and being poisoned by the elder snake venom. Even if we don't hunt it, it might become someone else's soul ring, or a vital tonic for other soul beasts, to advance to higher levels. Soul beasts like these, with the bloodline of ancient mythical beasts, are also excellent tonics for soul masters, enhancing their physique and strengthening their blood. Although we can no longer obtain the dark gold terror claw bear's soul rings, its flesh and blood are still very valuable. Its essence and blood might even be used by Patriarch Yang to add to his elixirs. Of course, a 50,000-year-old soul beast would be even better if it could produce a soul bone. Yibai's response left Douluo with little to complain about. The only thing he could complain about was that Yibai was incredibly bored. Most spirit masters, after acquiring spirit rings in the Stardao Great Forest, would immediately flee this dangerous area. Yibai, however, would not, relying on his titled Douluo status, wander the forest. When Yibai and his companions followed the blood trail and ascent of the dark gold terror claw bear to its location, the 10-meter tall beast was being attacked by 4 spirit beasts over 40,000 years old. The dark gold terror claw bear was in a double whammy. Under normal circumstances, these spirit beasts would have been its prey, but now, it had become prey for the others. Yibai could see the severe wounds on the dark gold terror claw bear's body. Its massive head bore several irreparable claw marks, its dark golden bones visible, and its body was covered in scars of varying sizes. Yibai and Douluo watched the fight from atop a mountain. Finally, after the dark gold terror claw bear had killed 2 of the spirit beasts and driven off the remaining 2, Douluo took action. Even though Douluo was a titled Douluo of the control system, the dark gold terror claw bear was no longer a threat. The beast, having emerged to forage, had already fallen. Perhaps without Douluo and Yibai, it would have eventually become someone else's spirit ring. Douluo was responsible for the kill, he wouldn't do the finishing work. So, Yibai quickly dissected the remains, storing the flesh and blood of the 3 spirit beasts in his spirit guide. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 183 Dark Gold Terror Claw Bear left metacarpal bone. Nearly 2 months had passed since Yibai and his companions left Wuji City. Upon their return to Wuji Academy, the city was bustling with activity. After visiting Shenfeng and Chihuo academies, they had already overcome any hidden resistance. While the approach was overly direct, it was effective, wasn't it? Shenfeng and Chihuo academies gradually transferred some of their most talented students to Wuji Academy. Meanwhile, Feng Buiyu, the former vice president of Shenfeng Academy, and Huo1, the father of Chihuo students Huo Wu and Huo Washang, also arrived. The transfer of students from Chihuo and Shenfeng academies to Wuji Academy had significantly strengthened the academy's overall strength. The 2 elemental academies showed no resistance to their new identities. They were quite excited, as Wuji Academy boasted a formidable faculty and vastly superior educational resources. After safely transporting Yibai back, Douluo returned to the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. Now free of the toxins, he naturally focused more on cultivating his spirit power. Furthermore, his talent ceiling had been enhanced by the Kirang Tangshan chrysanthemum, giving him even greater room for improvement. Especially after meeting Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo, he felt a sense of pressure. The Spirit Hall's power was too great, compared to the 4 princes of the Royal Flag last time and the Snake Spear and Thorny Porpoise this time. If he wanted to protect Douluo, he had to improve his own abilities. He also wanted to have a good time with Chrysanthemum Douluo Yuguan. Yibai returned to Wuji Academy to handle some academy and diplomatic matters. He also appointed Feng Buiyu as the Dean of Studies, overseeing all aspects of education. Feng Buiyu understood that Yibai needed more time to cultivate, so he didn't refuse. Feng Buiyu's agreement to join the position touched Yibai deeply. While he didn't dislike the dean's duties, the situation didn't allow him to be so carefree. The dean had a lot to manage, and for now, he was lucky enough to be able to secure funding to keep the academy running. After resolving these matters, Yibai and Douluo spent some time together before heading to the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Douluo, the vice dean of Wuji Academy, had been training at Wuji Academy while Yibai was hunting for spirit rings, while also handling some internal academy affairs. As for Oscar, he continued to train at Wuji Academy, occasionally leading other Wuji students into the Sunset Forest to hunt for spirit rings. His current spirit power had reached level 53, and he believed he could reach the realm of Soul Emperor within 3 years. Feng Xiaoshan, shortly after Yibai's breakthrough, also reached level 60 with the aid of immortal items. His father, Feng Buxing, and Huo Feng from Blazing Fire Academy took him on a spirit ring hunt. Huo Wu and Huo Washang, the siblings, had also arrived at Wuji Academy, but without official positions. Perhaps because of the example set by Yibai and the others, they too were diligently cultivating. Simply practicing in seclusion wasn't enough. He planned to leave for some time before setting out to gain experience. "You're here." Yibai, his invulnerable physique, smoothly entered the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, shrouded in poisonous mist. His arrival instantly caught the attention of the three. I have something to take care of. Your luck, boy, is truly beyond words," Yang Wudi said, standing up and looking at Yibai. After Douluo returned to the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, Yang Wudi asked him about hunting spirit rings. "Maybe Lady Luck has been a little more kind to me," Yibai jokingly said. "This is the soul blood obtained from the dark gold terror claw bear soul beast. Elder Yang, do you think it can be used as medicine?" Yibai handed the soul blood obtained from the dark gold terror claw bear to Yang Wudi. Yang Wudi accepted the vial of soul blood. The dark gold terror claw bear essence blood in the jade vial glowed with a dark golden luster, the dark gold and dark red blood intertwining to create a unique and special feeling. Such a fierce aura. Yang Wudi opened the bottle and was immediately intoxicated by an extremely wild aura. If the essence of a dead soul beast could be this powerful, Yang Wudi couldn't imagine how ferocious and savage that soul beast must have been. Good stuff. Go on with your business. Yang Wudi took the vial and went to the side, contemplating quietly. It seemed he was already thinking about how to use this dark gold terror claw bear's essence. Yun Yibai and Douluo exchanged a glance, and after a nod, Yun Yibai approached the yin-yang eye of ice and fire and began to meditate. He needed the eye's unique training environment to solidify his soul power. After 3 days of meditation, Yun Yibai opened his eyes. Having stabilized his soul power, he began to digest the remaining gains from his trip to the Stardow Great Forest. Perhaps the god of luck had truly shown some favor to Yun Yibai. That dark gold terror claw bear had indeed held some valuable treasures. Yun Yibai received an external soul bone from the dark gold terror claw bear, its metacarpal bone. As a rare and powerful soul beast, the dark gold terror claw bear has a high probability of producing soul bones, but Yun Yibai hadn't expected to be able to produce its most precious metacarpal bone. Unfortunately, this dark gold terror claw bear was left-handed, so the external soul bone wasn't from Yun Yibai's right hand, but from his left. However, this was a minor matter. For a soul master, with diligent practice, either hand could become dominant. Yun Yibai was seen removing a dark gold bone from an iron box. 5 narrow blades appeared on the front of the soul bone, like miniature terror claws. A dark gold halo rippled across the blades like water, giving it the appearance of a divine weapon. The dark gold terror claw bear soul bone originates from the dark gold terror claw bear, a soul beast that possesses some of the bloodline of the behemoth. Its immense power is so immense that, at a certain point, its massive claws can even rend space. The dark gold terror claw bear's metacarpal bones are its strongest point, making them considered precious soul bones. The power of these metacarpal bones emanated, and the fierce aura of a 50,000-year-old dark gold terror claw bear permeated the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Is this their reward for this trip to the Stardow Great Forest? Yang Wudi naturally sensed that ferocious aura. This kid has incredible luck. This kid has soul bones that are rarely seen in a lifetime. I've already seen several of them. Yang Wudi's eyes were clear, without envy or jealousy, only admiration for Yun Yibai. Chapter 184 Northbound Qianshu. If he hadn't met Yun Yibai, he might still be preoccupied with external threats and family affairs. How could he possibly cultivate so freely as he does now? The 2 immortal artifacts and the head soul bone were all deeply connected to Yun Yibai, so he was deeply grateful to him. The frequent appearance of rare treasures in Yun Yibai's possession was another symbol of Yun Yibai's true talent. If he didn't possess this strength, he wouldn't have even crossed paths with the soul beast that produced the soul bone. Yun Yibai placed the dark gold terror claw bear's left metacarpal bone against his palm. Under the influence of Yun Yibai's soul power, the bone seemed to melt, transforming into a dark golden liquid that slowly seeped into his left hand. Yun Yibai sat cross-legged beside the ice and fire pool of the yin-yang eye, quietly absorbing the metacarpal bone. When the metacarpal bone transformed into the dark golden liquid and initially merged with his left hand, he felt no pain, but rather a warm sensation. However, this peace didn't last long. Intense pain soon set in. Pain washed over Yun Yibai, whose brow furrowed sharply. He always presented himself as a manly figure, but the veins on his forehead bulged with rage, clearly indicating he was enduring immense pain. The dark golden liquid transformed from the dark gold terror claw bear's left metacarpal bone surged, like molten lava within his left hand, inflicting waves of excruciating pain. Yun Yibai concentrated intently on channeling his soul power, interweaving it with the dark golden energy, attempting to completely absorb it into his body. Within the yin-yang eye's pool of ice and fire, the extreme forces of ice and fire intertwined, creating a delicate balance. Yun Yibai utilized this unique environment to neutralize the violent energy contained within the dark gold terror claw bear's left metacarpal bone, allowing it to better merge with his own. After absorbing the dark gold terror claw bear's left metacarpal bone, Yun Yibai's soul power surged again. Over a year after completing the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite competition, young Yibai was finally ready to embark on another journey of training. This trip had several objectives. First, it was to head north to Shianshu Academy. The original plan had been scrapped. The plan was to first negotiate with the Blue Lightning Tyrant sect, then absorb Thunder Academy, and then, after that, merge Shianshu Academy into Wuji Academy. Shianshu Academy was unique. Not only were its students all female, but the hidden sect behind it didn't treat them as harshly as the Fire Leopard sect and the Windsword sect. Therefore, resistance would likely be greater than at Blazing Fire Academy and the Divine Wind Academy. And if the Blue Lightning Tyrant sect, a stronger sect than Shianshu Academies, agreed to merge Thunder Academy into Wuji Academy, then the forces behind Shianshu Academy wouldn't have much to object to. While resolving the conflict through force was inevitable, on this continent, force was often the best weapon. Furthermore, Yang Wudi would accompany young Yibai on his training journey. This was a necessary precaution. Young Yibai had long been targeted by the Spirit Hall, and with its immense influence, it was hard to imagine if Spirit Hall personnel were constantly monitoring the area surrounding Wuji Academy. Douluo, Yang Wudi, and the others would have been uneasy if young Yibai and the others were truly allowed to embark on their training. Before joining Wuji Academy, Yang Wudi was an 82nd level strong attack type soul Douluo. After joining Wuji Academy, Yang Wudi obtained the immortal herb Yalxiang, as well as elixirs crafted from top tier herbs. With these two items, Yang Wudi's soul power reached 84th level. The Yalxiang possesses the ability to neutralize all toxins, though it can't inherently dispel them. However, as a rare immortal treasure, the Yalxiang couldn't be limited to this single benefit. While Yang Wudi wore the Yalxiang, the power it emanated involuntarily expelled much of the toxins accumulated from years of alchemy. Alchemists are naturally also drug testers. Even at level 82, Yang Wudi's body still held some medicinal energy that hadn't been fully converted into spirit power. The fragrant Kilo immortal item helped Yang Wudi clear his veins, allowing the medicinal energy to be converted. Later, he obtained an elixir crafted from top tier herbs, grade 9 purple Ganoderma and 10,000 years ginseng as its main ingredients. With the unique environment of the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, Yang Wudi's spirit power stabilized, breaking through to level 84.5. After the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite competition, young Yibai gifted Yang Wudi with a Kilo immortal tulip and a 40,000-year-old head spirit bonus investment items. With these two items, Yang Wudi immersed himself in the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire. A year later, his spirit power has broken through to level 88. Yang Wudi never imagined he would have such an opportunity. It's undeniable that immortal items, spirit bones, and even high-aged spirit rings are nothing short of cheats for cultivation. Immortal herbs not only boost spirit power, but also fundamentally improve a spirit master's innate abilities and physical condition, removing impurities and enhancing their potential at true transformation. The same is true for spirit bones. While they can't improve spirit power innate abilities, they can strengthen the body, boost spirit power, grant powerful spirit skills, and enhance overall combat capabilities. Young Yibai has the most say in the matter of transcending levels and absorbing high-age spirit rings. His age and cultivation level are a clear indicator of this. This trip was quite lively, and young Yibai wasn't planning to go it alone. That was completely unnecessary. Those who embark on solo training don't have companions to accompany them. Choosing to go it alone when they have a companion and can solve most problems together is sheer madness. After Feng Xiaoshan returned from acquiring his 6th spirit ring, their small group set out north. Young Yibai, a level 67 semi-powerful attack spirit emperor. Douluo Yan, a level 64 control spirit emperor. Feng Xiaoshan, a level 62 agile attack spirit emperor. Oscar, a level 54 support spirit emperor. Huo Washang, a level 48 powerful attack spirit master. Huo Washang, a level 49 control spirit master. And finally, Yi Lingling, a level 44 support spirit master. Young Yibai had invited Yang Te and Niu Shan, originally from the Wuji Academy team, but they declined. They were self-aware. Their talent was no match for young Yibai and his group of gifted souls. They were fortunate to be invited to the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition. They might become friends, but they certainly wouldn't be able to stay in the same circle for long. Chapter 185. Change someone who can talk. Yan Yibai, Fengzai Ocean, Huo Wu, and Huo Washan were no strangers to Xianshu Academy. Located in Bidi Province, the northernmost province of the Xiandao Empire, Xianshu Academy is located in Shuaiyu City, one of the two major cities in Bidi Province, and boasts a large fighting spirit arena. Bidi Province borders Xiandao Province, where Yan Yibai and his companions are stationed, and along the way, they pass the city home to Shenfeng Academy. After passing Shenfeng Academy, Yan Yibai and his companions continued their journey by carriage, traveling for over 10 days, before reaching their destination. 3 carriages slowly entered Shuaiyu City, located in the Xiandao Empire's Bidi Province. I never thought I'd be here again. Fengzai Ocean said with a hint of emotion as the carriages passed through the Shuaiyu City gates. He still remembered their first encounter with Yan Yibai, at the Shuaiyu City's large fighting spirit arena. Yes, it was here that you met Yan Yibai, and then you fought to a draw in the Great Soul Fighting Arena. I remember that you were 18 years old and a Soul Sect member, and Yan Yibai was almost 13 years old and still a Soul Lord. Huo Washang said in a mean way. Fengzai Ocean. Fengzai Ocean's mouth twitched. He glanced at Huo Washang helplessly, then feigned a shake of his head. Huo Washang, your ability to hold a grudge is truly admirable. Didn't I just give you a little face on the competition stage? Is it necessary to hold a grudge for so long? Huo Wu interjected, but then again, back then in the Great Soul Fighting Arena, I couldn't have imagined he'd reached this point. Huo Washang's expression grew serious upon hearing this. He nodded, saying, indeed, his progress is astonishing. I remember his performance at the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition last time, which was already impressive enough. This time, when we met again, he's already a Soul Emperor. Fortunately, Yan Yibai wasn't riding in the same carriage with them, otherwise they wouldn't have been so relaxed. There were 3 carriages on this trip. Yang Wudi was in a separate carriage, meditating and practicing along the way. Fengzai Ocean, Huo Wu, and Huo Washan were in one. Yan Yibai, Du Guyan, Oscar, and Yi Lingling were in one carriage. 3 carriages slowly passed through the city gate, returning to this city, where idol groups are prevalent. What? Who did you say is here? Chen Yan, the Dean of Studies at Xianshu College, received a notification from his subordinates. Upon hearing the visitor's name, Chen Yan immediately put down his work and stared at them intently. I've confirmed it. It's indeed the outstanding Soul Masters Huo Wu and Huo Washang from Chihua College, Fengzai Ocean from Yuanshan Feng College, and someone from Wuji College. Just a few young people. Nothing else? They're accompanied by someone who looks like their elder, but I don't recognize them. Okay, I understand. You can leave. Chen Yan waved the other person away. After the other person left, Chen Yan sat in his office chair, his hands resting on his chin, a look of thought in his eyes. Wuji College, Chihuo College, Chen Yan muttered. What's their purpose in visiting Xianshu Academy? Elsewhere, Yan Yibai and the others had just introduced themselves. Shortly after, the person who had gone to report to Xianshu Academy returned. Yan Yibai and the others were allowed into Xianshu Academy. Putting Yan Yibai aside, Huo Wu, Huo Washang, and Fengzai Ocean were all from the Elemental Academy, a friendly group of Xianshu Academy members, so they naturally had to be treated with respect. Inside Xianshu Academy, a serene and peaceful atmosphere filled the air, echoing with the gurgling of clear springs. Yan Yibai and the others were immediately captivated by the unique atmosphere as they entered. The predominantly blue and white colors of the Academy's buildings seemed to blend seamlessly with the azure sky, white clouds, and clear lake waters, exuding an otherworldly beauty. This is truly a perfect place for ice and water attribute spirit masters to cultivate, Yan Yibai exclaimed softly, glancing around and nodding inwardly. They were led to a spacious reception room, where Chen Yan, the Dean of Studies at Xianshu Academy, was already waiting. Chen Yan, dressed in the blue uniform symbolizing Xianshu College, bore a badge of status on her chest. Her eyes shone with a shrewd and intelligent expression. Welcome everyone to Shianshu College. I'm Chen Yan, the Dean of Studies at Shianshu College, Chen Yan said, standing up. She surveyed Yan Yibai and the others, her gaze finally settling on Yang Wudi. Although Yang Wudi hadn't intentionally unleashed his spirit power, his unflinching aura of authority was already formidable. Chen Yan knew this must be the man behind Yan Yibai and the others. Upon meeting someone with influence at Shianshu College, Yan Yibai and the others, after a brief subtle explanation, stated their intentions directly. That was it. Cooperation? I think you, Wuji College, are planning to annex Shianshu College. You're truly ambitious. Chen Yan grumbled upon learning the details of the collaboration Yan Yibai had mentioned. Someone, show them away. Just as Chen Yan was calling for Yan Yibai and the others to be escorted out of Shianshu College, Yan Yibai laughed, uncharacteristically. Hehe. Yan Yibai chuckled softly, then glanced at Chen Yan, the Dean of Studies at Shianshu College, with a captivating gaze. His eyes were sharp as a knife, piercing Chen Yan's heart. Chen Yan was startled by Yan Yibai's threatening gaze. She shuddered involuntarily, secretly surprised by Yan Yibai's sudden display of power. She quickly realized her gaffe. But before she could say anything, Yan Yibai continued, Director Chen. It seems you don't have the final say at Shianshu College. Yan Yibai slowly stood up, his martial spirit possessing him. Golden lightning danced across his body, and 6 spirit rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple, and 3 black emerged one by one. You're nothing more than the Dean of Studies at Shianshu College. Call your dean, and have her come talk to us. After unleashing his martial spirit and spirit rings, Yan Yibai's aura instantly overwhelmed the entire room. Such was his dominance. Chen Yan was overwhelmed by Yan Yibai's aura. The oppressive force of his spirit power subconsciously activated her martial spirit, and 7 spirit rings materialized. She then faced off against Yan Yibai. Chen Yan watched the golden lightning pulsing from Yan Yibai's body and the 6 dazzling spirit rings, a wave of shock welling up in her heart. She knew Yan Yibai, of course, but he was only a few years old. He looked barely 20 and yet he was already a Soul Emperor. Furthermore, the aura Yan Yibai displayed at the level of a Soul Emperor rivaled that of a Soul Sage like her. This truly astonished her. Chapter 186. If you don't listen to reason, use force. Do you think you can force us to surrender with force alone? Since reasoning is useless, let's just use force. Director Chen, I'm not discussing this with you. I'm telling you to find someone who can take charge. You. Humph. Chen Yan snorted coldly and walked out. The situation was stronger than anyone else, so even if she was dissatisfied, she could only hold it in. Wuji Academy had titled Douluo and several Soul Douluos, and the overall number of Soul Masters at Wuji Academy was far greater than that of Shianshu Academy. After Chen Yan left, everyone's hearts began to stir. Fengzai Ocean, oh my god, when did this guy reach level 60? It looks like he'll reach the Soul Emperor realm before me, and his Soul Emperor cultivation is formidable. Huo Washan, monster, Huo Wu, damn it. Oscar, as expected of my boss, he even forced a Soul Sage to retreat. Du Guyan, as expected of my man, Yi Lingling. Yang Wudi was very pleased with Yan Yibai's performance. He was a rather assertive and straightforward person, preferring to use force over words. Seeing Yan Yibai's assertive approach to Chen Yan, successfully forcing him to retreat, Yang Wudi's eyes flickered with admiration. He patted Yan Yibai on the shoulder and said with a smile, "You're a good one, boy. I love your decisiveness." Yan Yibai, since they won't sit down and talk properly, force is a quicker and more direct solution in this situation. That woman just now was a bit indecent. Didn't she realize my status? Go ahead, with me here, this small Shianshu Academy will be no problem. Yang Wudi remained confident. With his soul power now at level 88, he was confident he could even challenge a level 94 titled Douluo. And without the strength of a titled Douluo, Shianshu Academy was completely capable on his own. With Yang Wudi's breakthrough, Oscar also came over and chuckled. "Boss, you're so handsome. When can I be like you, forcing the enemy back with such awe-inspiring aura?" Yan Yibai patted Oscar on the shoulder and joked, "Maybe when you reach Soul Emperor, you'll be able to show off your victory in public." "Really?" Oscar's eyes lit up. He had unconditional trust in Yan Yibai. Yeah. Don't you have the means to attack with flying mushrooms? Once your soul power grows stronger, won't you be able to start creating your own soul skills? Oscar, you're no longer just an ordinary food type soul master, Feng Ocean said jokingly. Created your own soul skills? Oscar smiled excitedly yet slightly shyly at Yan Yibai and Feng Ocean's words. He scratched his head, his eyes glittering with longing for the future. Yan Yibai wasn't kidding when he told Oscar. If others didn't know Oscar's potential, how could he not? Barring any unforeseen circumstances, Yan Yibai would, no matter how much time and effort it took, ensure Oscar acquired that miraculous copying spirit skill. In the original timeline, Oscar's 6th spirit skill was borrowed from a 10,000-year-old mirror beast in the blizzard forest in the northern part of the continent. Its abilities were truly breathtaking. They could perfectly replicate their opponent's skills and unleash them in a fraction of a second, a feat unmatched in the Spirit Master world. No matter what, no matter the cost, he would ensure Oscar acquired this 10,000-year-old mirror beast from the far north. The spirit ring of the 10,000-year-old mirror beast was the beginning of Oscar's transformation. For now, all you need to do is cultivate diligently and increase your spirit power. You're a food type spirit master born with full spirit power. Your talent surpasses that of most spirit masters, and your future prospects will be even brighter. As for your 6th spirit ring, I already have a target. If you're curious, raise your spirit power to level 60 as soon as possible. No problem. Oscar grinned. What a bunch of freaks. Huo Washang mused. Huo Wu fell backwards and bumped into Huo Washang's stomach. Huo Washang cried out in pain. Little sister, you are trying to murder your own brother. Huo Washang, don't destroy your own prestige and boost other people's ambitions. I understand, little sister, but can you not do it suddenly next time? I'm worried about Ocean if you do this. What a group of energetic young people. Yang Wudi thought with a little emotion in his heart when he saw Yan Yibai, Oscar, Feng Ocean, Huo Wu and others gathered together. Yan Yibai then suppressed his smile and said seriously, okay, let's get back to business. With Elder Yang behind the Xianshu Academy, I don't think it's a big deal. Wuji Academy is a different place now. After Blazing Academy and Shinfeng Academy joined Wuji Academy, we've seen a tremendous improvement. We now have 2 titled Douluo, 4 Soul Douluos, and several Soul Sages. As for Soul Douluos, the newly joined senior Huo Feng is only 1 step away from reaching the Soul Douluo realm. The Dean of Xianshu Academy wouldn't be as foolish as Chen Yan. She should be able to see through some things. Yeah. Isn't Chen Yan a completed yet? Or perhaps she got the position of Dean of Studies solely because of her Soul Sage cultivation, but lacks actual teaching experience and the necessary political acumen. If it were Xianshu Academy's Dean, perhaps they would have noticed something. The fact that Huo Wu and Huo Washang from Blazing Academy were also in Yan Yibai's team was already unusual. When Yan Yibai announced his intention to deepen cooperation with Xianshu Academy in front of Huo Wu and Huo Washang from Chihuo Academy, anyone with even a modicum of intelligence would have recognized the problem. Was Yan Yibai's mind fluttering, saying such things in front of the Chihuo Academy members? Judging from Yan Yibai's past behavior, he clearly wasn't the type to be foolish. Chen Yan's anger gradually subsided as she left. As she calmed down, she remembered that Huo Wu and Huo Washang, siblings from Chihuo Academy, had been with Yan Yibai and his team. Huo Wu and Huo Washang, these 2 elite students from Chihuo Academy, how could they suddenly appear in the Wuji Academy team? Could it be that Chihuo Academy has already joined forces with Wuji Academy? Chen Yan didn't dare to think any further. She had to report this news to the Dean of Xianshu Academy as soon as possible, so the higher-ups could make a decision. Chen Yan approached Shuro, the Dean of Xianshu Academy, and reported what had just happened. When Shurao learned that Wuji Academy and Kaichuo Academy were coming to visit, a hint of surprise flashed in her eyes. Then, after learning the purpose of Yan Yibai and the others, her expression became solemn. Chapter 187, So Strong. If Blazing Academy and Wuji Academy truly had reached some hidden agreement, and they were targeting Xianshu Academy, it would pose a significant threat to the latter. It seems we need to reassess the current situation, Xianshu Academy's Din Shu Rao said gravely. The Blazing Academy staff are also here, and they've spoken directly to the Blazing Academy staff about their desire for in-depth cooperation with Shianshu Academy. What on earth are they planning? The Shianshu Academy dean muttered to himself. Beside Shianshu Academy Dean Shuro, there was another person, though this person appeared quite aloof. This person was stationed at Shianshu Academy from the hidden sect behind Shianshu Academy. She was also the vice dean accompanying Shianshu Academy to the competition. She had witnessed Yang Wudi and Ugubo's battle against the Spirit Hall. Hanaying, what are your thoughts? I don't know much about Wuji Academy, but they do have 2 titled Douluo level warriors. Based on Chen Yan's description, I think the person accompanying them is Yang Wudi. Hanaying changed the subject, but they're so brazen, aren't they afraid that the Heaven Dao Empire and the Spirit Hall will find out? Perhaps their actions are condoned by the Heaven Dao Empire, Shurao replied after a moment's thought. Hanaying was momentarily speechless. Despite her doubts, Shianshu Academy's Dean Shurao decided to meet Yun Yibai. Wuji Academy had titled Douluos, but Shianshu Academy and the forces behind them didn't possess such powerful figures. Dressed in Shianshu Academy's signature light blue robe, Dean Shurao walked steadily towards the Shianshu Academy's reception hall. Dear guests from Wuji Academy and Chihuo Academy, I'm the current dean of Shianshu Academy, Shurao. Shurao's attitude was calm, neither joy nor anger evident. This was entirely because she was fully aware of the situation Shianshu Academy faced. Faced with a blatant threat from Wuji Academy, they could only endure it with resigned vengeance, even if it meant being humiliated. Dean Shurao, I've long admired you. Dean of Wuji Academy, Yun Yibai. Yun Yibai stood up in a gesture of respect. A flicker of surprise flashed in Shurao's eyes at Yun Yibai's words. She had never imagined Yun Yibai was the dean of Wuji Academy, a school comparable to the 3 great sects. After all, Wuji Academy boasted titled Douluos and several Soul Douluos beneath them. Generally speaking, such a powerhouse wouldn't choose someone as young, and not at the highest level as Yun Yibai to head a school. However, she immediately recalled Yun Yibai's current reputation, his talent, and the information she had just learned from Chen Yan. Her doubts immediately eased. The youngest Soul Emperor in Douluo continent's history, whose cultivation rivaled that of a Soul Sage, was a gifted talent that many could truly believe. Crucially, Yun Yibai was flanked by several important figures, Ugubo, Yang Wudi, and Yu Yuansen, the patriarch of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex clan. After a brief exchange of pleasantries, Shurao got straight to the point. Has Blazing Academy? Before Shurao could finish her words, Yun Yibai interrupted her. You guessed right. Has Blazing Academy been merged into Wuji Academy? Shurao was shocked. She had just wanted to ask, has Blazing Academy become a vassal of Wuji Academy? But what she heard from Yun Yibai was that Blazing Academy had been merged into Wuji Academy. This result surprised her greatly. Dean Shurao quickly composed herself and turned her gaze to Huo Wu and Huo Washang, former members of Blazing Academy. Huo Wu and Huo Washang also noticed Shurao's gaze. Huo Wu and Huo Washang had already received Yun Yibai's instructions, so Huo Washang readily admitted the truth. Hello, Dean Shu, I'm Huo Washang from Blazing Fire Academy. It's true that Blazing Fire Academy has joined Wuji Academy. But even more shocking news was yet to come. Huo Washang continued, not just Blazing Fire Academy, but Shenfeng Academy has also been merged into Wuji Academy. Shurao. Huo Washang's words completely extinguished Shurao's anxiety. A moment of silence followed by a solemn expression. She had never imagined that Wuji Academy would be so magnanimous, absorbing not only Blazing Fire Academy, but also Shenfeng Academy, also one of the 5 elemental academies. How is this possible? Shurao muttered to herself in disbelief. Her gaze darted back and forth between Yun Yibai, Huo Wu, and Huo Washang, trying to find any flaws or hints of deception in their expressions, but sadly, she found none. Dean Shurao. Times are changing, and the landscape of Douluo continent must adapt accordingly. Wuji Academy is simply adapting to the trend and making some necessary adjustments. Chihuo Academy's choice is also based on considerations of the future situation. The transformation of the spirit world is imminent, and war is inevitable. Going it alone is no longer wise. Our Wuji Academy's move is simply to seek stability on this impending chaos. Integrating the elemental academies is the general trend. Integration? Then, is Shianshu Academy also included in your integration plan? Although it was called integration, Shu Rao knew it was essentially an annexation. Their Shianshu Academy was different from other elemental academies because they only accepted female students, so she needed to consider carefully. Join Wuji Academy and share resources, mutual assistance and mutual benefit. Wuji Academy can provide you with more extensive training resources, stronger teaching staff, and a solid backing in the face of future crises. Young Yibei's words were filled with unquestionable power, as if every word was carefully considered. Dean Shu Rao didn't respond immediately, feeling a mixture of emotions. Joining Wuji Academy would mean Shianshu Academy would lose its independence, becoming a complete vassal of someone else, and there would be no Shianshu Academy anymore. But if they didn't join, not to mention a Wuji Academy right before their eyes, how could they withstand the coming storm alone in the turbulent world of martial spirits? We need time to consider, Shu Rao finally said slowly. Shianshu Academy isn't just mine. Any decision I make is accountable to everyone. Okay. Young Yibai nodded. At this moment, he was speaking to the Dean of Shianshu Academy as the Dean of Wuji Academy, on equal terms. I also want to ask about Leiting Academy. Yes. Young Yibai interrupted Shu Rao again. Chapter 188, Fighting Soul Saint. Not only Shianshu Academy, I'll also visit Thunder Academy. My ambition is to integrate the outstanding high-level Spirit Master Academies within the Heaven Dao Empire and create the continent's premier high-level Spirit Master Academy. Shu Rao was completely speechless. Honestly, did Shianshu Academy want to resist? Shu Rao felt they had no chance, even with the backing of a hidden sect in the north of the continent. Wuji Academy's current strength rivaled the three great sects. With two titled Douluo level warriors, and with the addition of Blazing Fire Academy and Divine Wind Academy, the number of Soul Daoists and Soul Sages had also increased, making Wuji Academy's overall strength far beyond their reach. Furthermore, there was someone they couldn't defeat right now. She might not recognize Yang Wudi, but Hanaying, who had accompanied them, had confirmed that the person following Young Yibai and the others was Yang Wudi. Hanaying had already transmitted a message to her. As for Thunder Academy, she felt it would be Wuji Academy's unassailable possession. Young Yibei's status and Wuji Academy's strength made it entirely possible for them to seize Thunder Academy from the Blow Lightning Tyrant sect. These elemental academies clearly defined their mission, to provide high-quality spirit master talent to the major sects. This included Wuji Academy, and all graduates would eventually enter the spirit master world, with the majority choosing to join a particular faction. Young Yibai was from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan. The Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan possessed unique advantages, cultivating outstanding disciples for the sect without requiring them to expend significant effort. With Young Yibei's connections, they had priority in selection, so why wouldn't the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan choose? Shu Rao's so-called considerations were merely to give the teachers and students at the academy time to accept this reality. With Yang Wudi around, even if Shianshu Academy moved out of their own sect, it would be useless. The next day, I will not show mercy. Din Yan. Chen Yan, the Shianshu Academy's Dean of Studies, spoke clearly, looking across at Young Yibai in a martial arts arena. Young Yibai didn't move, simply raising his hand. An invisible wave of soul power emanated from his body, resonating with the surrounding air. Please. His voice was calm and confident, without a trace of arrogance, yet revealing a strength that should not be underestimated. Chen Yan, level 73 strong attack type battle soul saint martial soul snow eagle. Young Yibai, level 67 strong attack type battle soul emperor, blue lightning tyrannosaurus rex. The dean of Shianshu Academy was no ungrateful person. While Wuji Academy's actions were overbearing, and its attitude was unyielding, its foundation was truly unique among all high-level Soul Master Academies. Shu Rao was well aware of the secrets behind Blazing Fire Academy and Divine Wind Academy. Since Blazing Fire Academy and Divine Wind Academy had joined Wuji Academy, it meant that the forces secretly controlling the two elemental academies had been eliminated by Wuji Academy. Currently, among the high-level Soul Master Academies on this continent, only Wuji Academy boasted a title Douluo level expert. Since there was no way to change the established facts, all they could do was enjoy it. She still remembered how Xiangjia Academy and the Xiangjia sect had once bullied Xianshu Academy. Wasn't that just bullying, because Xianshu Academy didn't have a stronger backing? After a night of self-consolation, Shu Rao and most of the others had come to terms with this. They kept the matter a secret, with only a few high-ranking officials knowing. However, some remained skeptical, including Chen Yan. Hence the scene just now, with Yan Yibai and Chen Yan standing on the martial arts field. Yan Yibai had naturally accepted Chen Yan's challenge. Firstly, he wanted to test the depth of his current strength, and secondly, he needed to establish his authority by defeating a powerful opponent. Xianshu Academy hadn't objected to Chen Yan's move, naturally wanting to test Yan Yibei's strength. They had heard of Yan Yibei's prowess, but they hadn't yet witnessed his true genius. From now on, they would be on the same page with Wuji Academy, so they had to understand their future leader. Xianshu Academy and Yan Yibai each had their own agenda. Then I'll be sorry. Chen Yan's martial spirit possessed her, and 7 spirit rings, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 3 black emerged. 2 snow white wings appeared behind her. With a low cry, she instantly soared into the air, dashing towards Yan Yibai like an arrow from a bow. Second spirit skill, Snow Frost Blade. A bone-chilling force of water elemental energy coalesced around her, transforming into razor-sharp ice blades that whizzed towards Yan Yibai. After Yan Yibei's martial spirit possessed her, the extraordinary spirit ring configuration astonished those present who had never seen Yan Yibai in action. Hearing about it was one thing, but actually seeing it was another. Especially since Yan Yibai reached the 6th ring Soul Emperor stage, he was able to transform 4 parts of his body into dragons. A layer of golden dragon scales covered Yan Yibei's hands, chest, and right leg. After transforming into a dragon, Yan Yibei's aura sword, and the mighty displayed, was no less than that of Chen Yan, a soul sage. Yan Yibai raised her hand, and golden lightning instantly dispelled the incoming ice blades one by one. Seeing Yan Yibai so easily dispel her second spirit skill, Chen Yan's appreciation for Yan Yibei's sword. Although it was just a small test, the power Yan Yibai displayed far exceeded her expectations. She was a soul sage, after all. Her spirit power was 6 levels higher than Yan Yibei's, and she had 1 more spirit ring. However, as a soul sage, she could fly even without the flight effect of her martial spirit. Her advantage lay with her third spirit skill, Snow Eagle Storm. Chen Yan immediately unleashed her third spirit skill. Her figure spun rapidly in the air, stirring the surrounding air currents, and forming a powerful hurricane. Countless razor-sharp ice shards swirled within the hurricane, like blades in the storm, strangling Yan Yibai. Thunder Dragon Claw. Yan Yibei's right hand reached out in the air, and a dragon claw composed of golden lightning suddenly condensed. With a roar, it slammed into the Snow Eagle Storm. The Thunder Dragon Claw collided with the storm, unleashing a dazzling burst of light and a deafening roar. The Thunder Dragon Claw gained the upper hand, tearing the storm apart bit by bit. Yan Yibei's first 3 amplifying spirit abilities illuminated one by one. With a clench of his right hand, Chen Yan's third line of spirit abilities completely collapsed. Whether it was Chen Yan's first 3 spirit abilities or Yan Yibei's simpler methods, they were merely warm-ups. The true battle had just begun. Chapter 189, Thunder Domain Strengthened, Thunderstorm Tornado. After Yan Yibai crushed the opponent's spirit skill, the sky above them suddenly darkened. Yan Yibei's 5th spirit ring had already illuminated. Yan Yibei's 5th spirit skill, the Senluo Thunder Domain, a domain type spirit skill, inherently possessed the power to influence celestial phenomena. As Yan Yibei's strength grew, he mastered its use with increasing proficiency. Dark clouds gathered, thunder roared, and bolts of lightning pierced through the clouds. The violent aura of lightning accumulated madly, and the air was filled with an oppressive and tense atmosphere that made people's hearts palpitate. Domain Unfold, Thunderblade Storm. Yan Yibai pressed his hand slightly downward, and a violent thunderstorm poured down. The thunder from the dark clouds poured down, instantly transforming into countless razor-sharp lightning blades that danced wildly under the inky black sky. These lightning blades flashed with a dazzling blue-purple light, and with a sharp whistling sound that tore through the air, they swept out in all directions like a dense raindrop. Everyone at Shianshu Academy saw a flash of light before they saw Chenyan enveloped by a torrent of thunder blades. Fourth soul skill, Snow Eagle Guard. Unable to evade, Chenyan unleashed her fourth soul skill. A thick shield of ice and snow instantly appeared before her, protecting her securely. A domain type soul skill. What a freak. Chenyan thought to herself, watching Yan Yibai nearby. She considered interrupting Yan Yibai's soul skill, but his domain skill slowed so quickly that she couldn't react in time. Within the thunder domain, Chenyan's movements were severely restricted. The difference in their powers meant she couldn't completely shatter Yan Yibai's domain. Is this the true power of the continent's greatest genius? Shu Rao sighed, observing the ground in the martial arts arena ravaged by the ravages of thunder and Chenyan's continuous dodging. Harnaying, you should have heard what I just said. He's less than 20 years old and already a level 67 Soul Emperor. Give him another 20 years and he'll definitely achieve a title. And with his talent, he can go even further. And there are many talents like him in Wuji Academy, Shu Rao said, her gaze inevitably glancing at Feng Xiaoshan, Du Guyan, and the others on the other side. We still have Binger at Shianshu Academy. Her future is bright, and she could be a title. If our Shianshu Academy follows the lead of Shenfeng and Shihuo Academy and joins Wuji Academy, then the future Wuji Academy will definitely be even more powerful than the current 3 top sects. Harnaying fell silent. She didn't know what to say. Not to mention the future. Even now, the sects behind her couldn't compare to Wuji Academy. Elsewhere, the battle between Yan Yibai and Soul Saint Chenyan blinded Feng Xiaoshan, Oscar, Huo Wu, and Huo Washan. Is the boss already that awesome? A Soul Emperor versus a Soul Saint, it was unimaginable. This wasn't just genius. The difference between a Soul Emperor and a Soul Sage was only one spirit avatar. How did he reach level 67? Feng Xiaoshan felt he had to hurry up. Yan Yibai's breakthroughs were so rapid, and he didn't want to fall behind. He absorbs spirit rings beyond his level. His current spirit power cultivation is the result of constantly risking his life, Du Guyan said calmly. It's been like this since his first spirit ring. Every time he absorbs a spirit ring, it takes longer than the normal absorption period. Every time he absorbs a spirit ring, he's risking his life. Her grip tightened. Before, she didn't understand what compelled Yan Yibai to work so hard, but now she believed it was the constant pressure from the spirit hall that forced him to resort to such desperate measures to increase his spirit power. With Yan Yibai's current talent, even at the average spirit master's training speed, he could expect to achieve a title. In Du Guyan's eyes, Yan Yibai was risking his life, especially since he had initiated and organized Wuji Academy and assumed the responsibility for its future. But Yan Yibai also cherishes his life, and he dared to do so only when he was sure. Then such a wonderful misunderstanding was born. Yes, ever since I knew the boss, he has always been so hardworking. Oscar was reminded of Du Guyan's words. His heart was quite complicated. That period was the history of his and Yan Yibai's growth, but also his own painful history. Huo Wu and Huo Washan looked at each other, and both saw shock and admiration in each other's eyes. Huo Wu whispered, no wonder he can have such cultivation at this age. They dared not even think about continuously absorbing spirit rings across the age limit, especially absorbing a 10,000-year spirit ring at the 4th spirit ring. Believe in yourself. We are not bad either, but we also have to work harder. The current Wuji Academy belongs to all of us. Feng Xiaoshan said. Although Yibai's method of merging the several major elemental academies was rather crude, I'm sure you can all see from the current situation on the continent that a few powerful high-level spirit master academies like ours will inevitably be unable to escape this chaos. Not to mention Yibai, even I intend to reclaim full control of the Divine Wind Academy once I've grown stronger. It's just that Yibai's goals are even greater than mine. Thunder Domain, strengthen. Thunderstorm Tornado. Yan Yibai shouted softly, and a massive tornado suddenly formed in the center of the Thunder Domain. Lightning and thunder ordered the center, and its powerful suction drew the surrounding air and lightning blades into it, forming an astonishingly powerful thunderstorm tornado that bore directly towards Chenyan. Chenyan's face fell, and now she had to give it her all. She flapped her snow eagle wings, releasing layers of frost in an attempt to slow the thunderstorm tornado. However, the thunderstorm's power was beyond imagination, and the frost evaporated upon contact. Chen Yan was forced to retreat repeatedly, facing danger. Damn. This guy's domain skills are so powerful. Chen Yan cursed inwardly. With her true form armor fully applied, she had never imagined that she would one day be forced to this point by a Soul Emperor. 7th soul skill, Snow Eagle true form. As Chen Yan activated her 7th soul skill, she transformed into a massive snow eagle. Her wings spread wide, instantly covering an area over 10 meters around her. The Snow Eagle true form not only increased her strength, but also dramatically increased her speed and agility, making Chen Yan's movements within the Thunder Domain much more agile. Furthermore, after Chen Yan deployed her martial soul true form, the threat posed by the thunder descending from Yan Yi's white Thunder Domain diminished. 5th soul skill, Freezing Snow Feathers. Chen Yan shouted softly. As her words fell, the massive Snow Eagle phantom seemed to come alive. With a flick of its wings, feathers brimming with chilling cold descended from the sky. Each feather shimmered with an icy blue light, like sharp ice blades, freezing the air wherever it passed. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 196 Soul Skill, Dark Demon Thunder Prison Slash. These icy snow feathers were not only incredibly fast, but also possessed powerful penetrating power. The moment they made contact with the thunderstorm tornado, they were quickly shattered. Within the Thunder Domain, lightning and the icy snow feathers intertwined and collided, creating a roaring sound. Some of the ice feathers melted in the thunderbolts, while others were blocked by the thunderbolts descending from the Thunder Domain. However, the majority continued to strike Yan Yibai. Seeing this, Yan Yibai frowned slightly, thinking to himself, as expected of Martial Soul Incarnation, its power has increased so dramatically. He hadn't expected Chen Yan's Snow Eagle Incarnation to be so effective in countering his Thunder Domain attacks. Faced with this precarious situation, Yan Yibai remained calm. The Thunder Blade, attached to his external spirit bone, suddenly appeared in his hand. With a single strike, he slashed, annihilating all the academy members who approached him in a flash of purple light. Following the purple light, fine lightning bolts followed. However, Chen Yan's subsequent attacks continued. Under her Martial Soul Incarnation, her spirit abilities had also been enhanced. However, after breaking through the first wave of attacks, the resulting free time was more than enough for Yan Yibai. The Thunder Domain contracted, its power intensifying. The once vast field of thunder continued to shrink. As the Senlo Thunder Domain continued to shrink, the thunder within it intensified, its density and power increasing exponentially, as if all the power of lightning had been compressed to its limit, ready to unleash a devastating force in a single moment. Yan Yibai stood at the center of the shrinking Thunder Domain, a faint lightning glow surrounding him. His eyes flashed with a cold light, as if he had become one with the Thunder Domain, becoming the master of thunder. Chen Yan's 5th soul skill was completely ineffective under such power. She also flew out of the Senlo Thunder Domain. Watching the shrinking thunder field, and the blade in Yan Yibai's hand growing in power, Chen Yan thought to herself, this guy, is he ready for a showdown? If so, then bring it on. 6th soul skill, Snowy Night Dark Wing Break. Chen Yan's soul ring suddenly shone, her 6th soul ring radiating brilliantly as a cold and mysterious aura erupted from her body. As the soul skill activated, her form seemed to blend into the night, transforming into a stream of faint blue light. With astonishing speed, she hurtled towards the center of the thunder field, where Yan Yibai lay. Behind her, a pair of massive wings, condensed from soul power, quietly unfolded. These wings were coated in fine ice crystals, and each flap caused a slight tremor in the air, freezing the very air. This was the essence of her 6th soul skill, Snowy Night Dark Wing Break, piercing the enemy's defenses with extreme speed and icy attack. Yet, facing Chen Yan's all-out attack, Yan Yibai remained remarkably calm. Although the power of the thunder field hadn't yet fully condensed and gathered, it was sufficient. His lips curled up. The thunder blade in his hand condensed to a terrifying degree under the extreme compression of the Thunder Domain. Flashes of lightning, exuding supreme majesty. 6th soul skill, Dark Demon Thunder Prison Slash. Chenyan was shocked. She hadn't expected Yan Yibei's 6th soul skill to be so formidable. She struggled with all her might to break free from the restraints, but the dark demonic power followed her like a shadow, tightly entangling her, making her movements slow and heavy. As Yan Yibei's 6th black soul ring flashed, he swung the thunder blade in his hand fiercely. A ray of purple and black light instantly pierced the sky, carrying the force of thunder and devastating thunder, heading straight for Chenyan's dark blue figure. The purple and black blade light and the dark blue light collided violently in midair, erupting in a deafening roar that shook the entire space. The dark demonic power contained in the lightning intertwined with Chenyan's icy attack, creating waves of terrifying energy. Chenyan felt an unprecedented pressure wash over her. The dark blue light she transformed into clashed with the interwoven purple and black blade beams. She could feel her soul power rapidly dwindling, as if she were being restrained by an invisible force. This sense of restraint was due to the effects of Yan Yibei's soul skill. Yan Yibei's 6th soul ring was derived from the dark demon evil god Tiger, which possessed partial power from the evil god. The dark demon Thunder Prison Slash not only possessed the might of thunder, but also possessed the dark demon evil god Tiger's uncanny mental binding properties, making it impossible for the afflicted to escape. Their mental state, soul power, and movement were severely restricted. Yan Yibei wasn't afraid of a soul power contest. Perhaps Chenyan could indeed block Yan Yibei's currently strongest single player soul skill, but how much soul power would she have left after doing so? And to be clear, Chenyan was deeply entangled in the soul skill clash, while Yan Yibei was still able to continue moving. Therefore, the outcome was already decided when both sides used their 6th soul skills. I lost. Looking at the purple blade in front of her, Chenyan spoke with difficulty, with a hint of unwillingness and helplessness in her voice. Although she was unwilling to admit it, the facts were before her, and she was indeed no longer able to fight. Upon hearing this, Yan Yibei slowly put away the thunder blade, and the thunder domain dissipated. You are not bad either, Yan Yibei said lightly, with a hint of gratitude in his tone. He was quite impressed with Chenyan as an opponent. To be quite proud, this was Yan Yibei's first attack, after breaking through to the Soul Emperor level, and the target was a Soul Sage. This allowed Yan Yibei to verify the extent of his strength. If I lose, I lose. There's nothing to say. I'm not someone who can't afford to lose. Now I have no objection to joining Wuji Academy. With a monster like you, Wuji Academy will definitely become one of the top forces on the continent in the future. I admit that I was prejudiced against you before. Chenyan continued, her eyes became frank. I thought Wuji Academy was just an emerging force, and it acted so domineeringly. But today's battle allowed me to see your strength and the potential that Wuji Academy may have. The truth of this world is really clear. The strong hold the right to speak. You convinced me with your talent and strength, and you should have convinced Dean Shurao and the others as well. Yan Yibei smiled slightly. He admired Chenyan's straightforwardness and honesty. Prejudice often stems from a lack of understanding. I'm glad that you've learned something through this battle. Wuji Academy is indeed developing rapidly, and it's inevitable that it will act domineeringly during the development process. But what we pursue is not only to become the top power on the continent, but also to have the power to protect ourselves in the upcoming turmoil. Now it seems that it is an honor for our Shianshu Academy to be valued by you. This is what Yan Yibei said, only if he defeated the other party. If Yan Yibei lost, I think he would have a different explanation. Chapter 191 Wolf Thief. As expected, truth lies only within the range of cannons. Force is the best way to resolve all disputes. Shianshu Academy's surrender was predicated on the presence of titled Douluo within Wuji Academy. Shianshu Academy wouldn't foolishly publicize its agreement to merge with Wuji Academy. It wasn't something to be proud of, nor something to brag about. Furthermore, in the current situation, even if the tree wishes to be still, the wind still persists. Since Shianshu Academy has decided to join Wuji Academy, it's time to consider the situation from Wuji Academy's perspective. The Spirit Hall poses a threat to several of the continent's top factions. After the Shianshu Academy incident concluded, Yan Yibei and his companions continued their training, but with one more person in their ranks. Upon learning that young Yibai and his companions would continue their training on the continent, Xianshu Academy's Dean Shu Rao offered to include Shu Bing'er. Young Yibai and his companions naturally accepted the offer. And so, after leaving Shuayu City, where Xianshu Academy is located, young Yibai and his companions headed northeast. 8 months later, young Yibai and his companions journeyed northeast from Shuayu City, then continued their training westward along the northern lands, ultimately arriving in the northwest, the westernmost reaches of the Heaven Dao Empire. Their training journey focused on areas where the Spirit Hall's influence was minimal. Upon reaching the western reaches of the Heaven Dao Empire, they inevitably encountered some harsh realities. On their way, they encountered a small village. While it should have been bustling and vibrant, it was now desolate and silent. To them, the village looked as if it had suffered immense devastation. The sight was horrifying. Many of the farmers' houses were shattered, seemingly by blunt instruments. Blood stained the village, still lingering, and the air was thick with the stench of blood. As they approached, they saw the dead everywhere, the ground stained red with blood. The corpses were strewn across the ground, the blood still lingering, and the bodies still stagnant. It seemed that tragedy had occurred only recently. What on earth just happened here? Huo Wu's tone had never been so heavy. Perhaps it was because he had never witnessed such a horrifying scene. The faces of the women present were grim, for they had never witnessed such a bloody scene. Oscar and Huo Washang's expressions were also grim. Such a tragedy was so tragic that even someone like Yang Wudi couldn't bear to watch. Let's go in and take a look, young Yibai said, then addressed the 4 women, Du Guyan, Huo Wu, Shu Bing'er, and Yi Lingling. You guys stay outside. Young Yibai, Feng Zhaoshan, Huo Washang, and Oscar then headed deeper into the village to search for clues. Huo Wu and the others stayed away from the village, but instead waited a short distance for young Yibai and the others to return. What on earth is going on? Killing civilians in such a bloody way? Who could be responsible? After the women calmed down a bit, Huo Wu frowned and asked, could it be those corrupted spirit masters? Du Guyan speculated. She had indeed heard that some fallen spirit masters used blood and souls to cultivate. Shu Bing'er pursed her lips and said, I've always heard that the security in the western part of the empire is poor, with bandits roaming everywhere. But I've never seen the situation in the western part of the empire quite like this. Whether it's a fallen spirit master or a bandit, this behavior is unforgivable. Huo Wu clenched her fists, her eyes gleaming with anger. We must find the mastermind behind this, and make them pay for their actions. After entering the village, Feng Zhaoshan frowned, scanning the area for possible survivors, but sadly, there was nothing but dead silence. It wasn't just Feng Zhaoshan, Huo Washang and Oscar shared the same thought. Young Yibai wasn't sure who had attacked the village. It could be bandits, fallen spirit masters, or spirit beasts. However, his investigation revealed no women or children among the bodies in the village. Furthermore, the male bodies were missing arms or legs, leaving the bodies incomplete. He also discovered numerous footprints that didn't resemble humans, as well as some grey-black hair. Young Yibai had a rough idea of what had attacked the village. It was the wolf bandits. Wolf bandits, you could say, were human, but not really. They were a fusion of humans and a spirit beast called the Swiftwind Wolf. Unlike humans with martial spirits, wolf bandits didn't look like humans, but their intelligence was superior to that of spirit beasts, making them more like a third species. Wolf bandits were half human half beast hybrids, a combination of humans and swiftwind wolves. Swiftwind wolves were known for their lustful nature, mates with almost any creature of similar size. They possessed the upper body of a human and the lower body of a wolf, hence the name wolf bandits. Wolf bandits possessed not only the intelligence of humans, but also the physical qualities of swiftwind wolves, displaying extreme cruelty and aggression. Wherever wolf bandits were present, those living there were doomed. These wolf bandits didn't just raid, they also preferred to attack humans, often slaughtering villages, and using the humans they killed for food. Wolf bandits love to rape human women. After slaughtering villages, they temporarily retain women for rape. Mating with human women gives birth to a unique breed of wolf bandits. Those who fail to conceive and are no longer useful also become their prey. They are, in a sense, half wolf, half human monsters. Wolf bandits possess the physique, speed, and some innate abilities of the wind wolf, but also possess a degree of human intelligence. They are extremely bloodthirsty and lustful. This vicious species can be found in both the Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire. Yan Yibei's journey to the western borders of the Xiandao Empire was motivated partly by the desire to eliminate this vicious species, and partly by the desire to obtain precious treasures from the rampant wolf bandits in the western part of the Xiandao Empire. Yan Yibai found Feng Xiaoshan and his companions, and together they returned to where Du Guyan and the others were. What's going on? Yan Yibai didn't respond directly. Instead, he looked at Du Guyan, Feng Xiaoshan, Oscar, and the other 7 and said, "You all, return to Crow City immediately. Leave this matter to Elder Yang and me." Crow City was the closest city to them, and it was the same city they had been in 2 days ago. "Elder Yang, I'm leaving this in your hands." Yan Yibai then said to Yang Wudi, "It seems you've figured something out." Yang Wudi had been guarding Du Guyan and the others, while Yan Yibai and the others were searching for clues. Chapter 190 To Kill. Du Guyan took a deep breath and solemnly declared, "I understand." Du Guyan rarely saw such a serious expression on Yan Yibei's face. Perhaps, as Yang Wudi had said, Yan Yibai had truly uncovered something, but the culprit might be very powerful. Going there might not only be of no help, but could actually hinder them. Both Yan Yibai and Yang Wudi were vastly superior in strength. Feng Xiaoshan felt a little resigned, but Yan Yibei's direct call on Yang Wudi signaled they would likely be a burden this time. Oscar and the others had no objections. They then split up. Du Guyan and his group returned to Crow City, while Yan Yibai and Yang Wudi headed off in a specific direction. "Boy, they've already left. Tell me, what exactly massacred this village?" Yang Wudi looked at Yan Yibai, awaiting his response. "I'm not entirely sure, but I suspect it was the wolf bandits who attacked this village." Yan Yibai then shared his evidence and his theory with Yang Wudi. It was those things. Yang Wudi, having lived for so many years, and being a family spirit master, had some understanding of these creatures, neither human nor beast. "No wonder you sent them back. Disgusting creatures like wolf bandits operate in groups. If they were truly wolf bandits, you'd be a complete waste. But if you were alone, with your current strength, which rivals that of a soul saint, while you wouldn't be able to completely eliminate them, you could still launch a surprise attack and retreat safely." Yang Wudi practically stated that Du Guyan and the others would be a drag. While Du Guyan, Feng Xiaoshan, Oscar, and the others were capable of fighting, the wolf bandits were numerous. Their strength was not weak. Practically everyone was comparable to a spirit master. Adult wolf bandits were often as powerful as soul masters. Not to mention that there were undoubtedly even stronger wolf bandits within the clan. Indeed, this is true. The reason the wolf bandits entrenched in the northwest of the Xiandao Empire haven't been annihilated by the Xiandao Empire isn't because the empire doesn't want to deal with them, but rather because the task is inherently difficult. What are the specific difficulties? First, the wolf bandits are incredibly powerful and rarely act alone. When they appear in the human world, they often travel in large groups. The wolf bandits entrenched in the northwest of the Xiandao Empire number no fewer than 100 individuals. How formidable are the wolf bandits? A pack of hundreds is enough to rival a regular army of over 10,000. Both the Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire have wolf bandit groups, but their strength is so immense that, even if the two empires wanted to send troops to suppress them, it would be a difficult task. It's precisely because of their immense power that they have yet to completely eliminate them. Second, the wolf bandits' locations are very secretive. While assembling a regular army of 10,000 might be easy for the Xiandao Empire, reaching their target within a short period of time is a rare feat. The wolf bandits typically roam far from human cities, which often lack the necessary resources to eliminate them. Stronger regular armies are typically stationed in strategic locations. For example, Yan Yibai and his men discovered the wolf bandits in a remote village far from the city. Furthermore, a large military presence in such a small city is generally impossible. Even if everyone in a village were killed by wolf bandits, it would take a long time for the news to reach nearby towns. Wolf bandits are not spirit beasts, they possess human intelligence. They concentrate their hunting grounds in secluded mountain villages to avoid encirclement and suppression. Thirdly, the wolf bandits' speed. Even if regular armies from the two empires were deployed to encircle and suppress them, the wolf bandits would not be afraid. Not to mention the time it would take for regular troops to reach their bases or hunting grounds. Even if regular troops appeared before them, they would still have a chance to escape. Wolf bandits are hybrids of wind demon wolves and humans, possessing the speed of wind demon wolves. The wolf bandits' immense speed actually made their escape easier. If the two empires sent armies to encircle and suppress the wolf bandits, they could use their speed advantage to fight their way out and escape. The Xiandao Empire and the Xingluo Empire had likely sent armies to suppress the wolf bandits, but with little success. Furthermore, in their confrontations with the armies of the two empires, the wolf bandits had become more resourceful. Simply by appearing in remote human settlements, the armies would have difficulty reaching them quickly. The wolf bandits, with their strength and speed, were no match for the armies. Yes, the number and strength of the wolf bandits are unpredictable. If it were just Elder Yang and me, we'd be more mobile and able to fight or retreat. But if Dugu Yan and the others were there, with the wolf bandits' speed, it was very likely someone on their side would be abducted. This sort of thing had happened before. Young Yibai knew a little about these wolf bandits. Their strongest, the cyan-colored leader, was as powerful as a human soul sage. He followed the possible trails left by the wolf bandits. Along the way, they discovered numerous torn pieces of clothing and broken implements, evidence left behind by the wolf bandits during their attacks on the village. Following these clues, they gradually approached their area of activity. As night fell, a series of low howling cries echoed from the forest, a distinctive sound characteristic of the wolf bandits, sending chills down their spines. Young Yibai and Yang Wudi slowly approached. Soon, they arrived at a small, secluded valley. The strong stench of blood was palpable even from a distance. Even the outer reaches were strewn with mutilated corpses and bones, emitting a sickening odor. Dried, darkened bloodstains surrounded the valley, and within it, the cries of the living could still be heard. It seemed this was also their temporary residence, with the wolf bandits scattered throughout. Yang Wudi observed the creatures within and exclaimed, "It's the wolf bandits indeed." They were all incredibly imposing, each over 2 meters tall, with sturdy physiques. The most peculiar thing was that their hair was all grey, and their bodies were extremely hairy, making them look like savages. Their lips protruded outward, revealing 2 canine teeth several times larger than those of ordinary people, and their faces were painted with dazzling oil paint. The closer they got, the more clearly they could see the tragic appearance of the villagers' bodies. Chapter 193 Blue Wolf Thief. The wolf bandits tore off some of the flesh from the corpses and devoured them. Beasts. Master Yang, their arrogance won't last much longer. Young Yibai and Yang Wudi used their spiritual powers to detect the presence of approximately 100 wolf bandits in this small valley. The remaining villagers were essentially held captive in a cave dungeon by the wolf bandits. Because some were still in their clutches, the two refrained from any rash action. Yang Wudi then used poison to neutralize a number of the outer wolf bandits. However, as each wolf bandit fell, the shrewd ones eventually noticed the unexpected development. Even so, Yang Wudi's poison had reduced the number of bandits to just over 70. Upon being discovered, young Yibai didn't hesitate. His martial spirit possessed him, and he charged forward, thunderblade in hand. His fifth spirit ring shone with a black light. Upon activating his fifth spirit ability, the valley was instantly permeated with the element of thunder and lightning. The sky shifted, clouds swirled, and thunder and lightning surged. Unleashing his domain spirit skill, Forest Thunder Domain, young Yibai's power skyrocketed, making him a complete stun against the weaker wolf bandits. Dense lightning struck the wolf bandits, paralyzing and controlling them for a moment. Despite their speed, the wolf bandits were outnumbered, like catching fish in a large net. Their lack of precision was compensated by their sheer numbers. Young Yibai unleashed his full power. Every time a wolf bandit was struck by lightning, he immediately attacked, simultaneously sweeping his fourth spirit skill to control another wave of them. Young Yibai's strength was immense, comparable to that of a typical soul sage. Within 30 seconds of charging into the pack, he had already dispatched over 10 wolf bandits. However, young Yibai didn't become complacent, as he knew that only the weakest could be slain by his single strike. As a group, wolf bandits naturally had their ranks divided. Those at the outermost edge, the lowest in status and weakest within the pack, were the first to be slain by the poison. The stronger the enemy, the closer they were to the center of the valley. And now, the stronger ones were closing in on him. But with Yang Wudi, a titled Douluo at his side, he was fearless. Young Yibai grew more courageous as the battle progressed, especially given the immense advantage his domain afforded him. The thunderbolts raining down from the sky severely restricted the wolf bandit's mobility. Domain unfolds, unthinking blade. Young Yibai shouted, and a powerful surge of energy suddenly surged around him, as if the entire space were being drawn by his will. The power of the forest's thunder domain rapidly contracted around him, forming a tight field of lightning that enveloped everything around him. The lightning on young Yibai's body gradually shifted from gold to purple, a sign that his power had reached a certain level. The purple lightning continuously converged on his thunderblade, causing it to radiate a dazzling light that seemed to rend all obstacles. Young Yibai swung the thunderblade forward, instantly dispatching the wolf bandits blocking the way. Those following closely behind these unfortunate creatures also suffered heavy losses, sustaining considerable wounds. Seeing many of their own minions slain by young Yibai, and others wounded, the 3 Scion wolf bandits grew restless. The greatest threat within the entire wolf bandit pack lay in these 3 distinctive individuals. Their first Scion. A Scion-haired wolf bandit's strength rivaled that of a human soul emperor. These 3 Scion-haired wolf bandits were undoubtedly the pack's leaders, their eyes gleaming with cunning and ferocity, unlike any other wolf bandit. The 3 Scion wolf bandits charged towards young Yibai at breakneck speed. Master Yang, please help take care of these grey wolf bandits. I'll go meet the 3 Scion wolf bandits, young Yibai shouted to Yang Wudi, who was hiding in the shadows, amidst the flash of lightning. Upon hearing this, Yang Wudi said bluntly, don't worry, I'll take care of these small fry. Yang Wudi hadn't attacked much from the start, simply because young Yibai wanted to practice. Meeting such a suitable opponent wasn't common. It just so happened that Yang Wudi also wanted to use this group of wolf bandits to further hone young Yibai's skills. However, he also saw that the grey-haired wolf bandits were no longer of much use to young Yibai. Facing the blue wolf bandits, young Yibai wasn't afraid, but rather excited. Thunder domain, thunderstorm. Young Yibai pointed the thunderblade skyward, and power instantly coalesced within the thunder domain. Purple lightning raged like a raging storm, sweeping towards the 3 blue wolf bandits with destructive force. Seeing this, the 3 blue wolf bandits' eyes flashed with caution. After all, they were cunning and ferocious wolf bandits, and they wouldn't sit still and wait for death. With a flash of their bodies, they cleverly dodged most of the attacks, just as the thunderstorm was about to strike. Even so, the residual force of the lightning storm had inflicted considerable damage, leaving their fur scorched black and their bodies covered in deep wounds. As expected of a descendant of the wind demon wolf, young Yibai snorted coldly, his figure weaving through the lightning like a ghost, rapidly closing in on the 3 Scion wolf bandits. He swung the thunderblade again, and purple lightning, like a dragon emerging from the sea, roared as it pounced upon the 3 Scion wolf bandits. The 3 Scion wolf bandits didn't dodge, but instead unleashed powerful wind blades with both hands. Bang! Young Yibai's thunderblade blocked the wind blades one by one, erupting with a tremendous roar. The 3 Scion wolf bandits took advantage of young Yibai's defense to quickly close in on him. This was the moment young Yibai had been waiting for. 4th Spirit Ring, Ice Fang Thunder Dragon. His 4th Spirit Ring flashed, and he swung the thunderblade in his hand towards the 3 Scion wolf bandits. The thunderblade unleashed lightning-charged icicles, which rapidly solidified in mid-air. Each one was crystal clear, yet imbued with terrifying lightning power. Like arrows shot from a bow, they shot towards the 3 Scion wolf bandits. Bang! The first icicle collided with a Scion wolf bandit, instantly erupting in a dazzling burst of lightning and icy shards. The wolf bandit was knocked back by the overwhelming force, its fur charred black, clearly suffering considerable damage. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The other 2 icicles followed closely behind, striking the other 2. One of the wolf bandits dodged the icicles with a deft movement, but the other was not so lucky. It struck head on, its entire body frozen in the lightning frozen ice, unable to move. Chapter 194 Bloodthirsty Hurricane Right Leg Bone. Yang Wudi finally took action. Facing 3 blue wolf bandits, each at least comparable to a Soul Emperor, Yibai's ability to hold his own against 3 was already exceptional. Furthermore, he didn't necessarily want Yibai to kill the 3 blue wolf bandits. All they needed was a suitable opponent, a chance to hone his current strength. What is this? After the battle, Yibai approached the strongest blue wolf bandit, a knife in hand, and began to scratch at the left leg of the blue wolf bandit's corpse. As Yibai's movements became more deft, he quickly sliced open the blue wolf bandit's thigh, revealing something shimmering with a green glow hidden within. The green object turned out to be a soul bone, a right leg bone. The faint green glow within it exuded a powerful aura. Soul bone. Yang Wudi lost his composure. Soul bone again. He was at a loss for words, or how to describe Yibai. This guy was simply incomparable. It had been less than a year since he last saw soul bones from Yibai. Yang Wudi felt as if Yibai was selling soul bones wholesale. He was handing them to him as if they were free. It's a soul bone again. How did you know that this wolf thief has a soul bone? Yibai smiled slightly, gently picked up the soul bone in his hand, carefully looked at the green light flowing on it, and explained. During the battle just now, I noticed that this green wolf thief's attack and movement were faster than the other 2 green wolf thieves, especially its leg strength, which far exceeded that of other wolf thieves. I immediately guessed that this might not only be due to its physique, but it is more likely to hide something special. And during the battle just now, after I injured the left leg of this wolf thief, I saw an unusual green light in its thigh. This green light that was inadvertently revealed confirmed my guess. Logically speaking, although there is a gap in the strength of these 3 green wolf thieves, the gap is not so big. Now I think it's because this wolf thief has a soul bone. Yibai said to Yang Wudi, holding the soul bone emitting green light in his hand. But what I'm more confused about is this soul bone produced by this wolf bandit itself, or was it obtained by hunting other soul beasts? I don't know much about creatures like wolf bandits, but who cares? Having a soul bone is a good thing. You should absorb it quickly. I will protect you. Upon hearing this, Yibai directly handed the soul bone in his hand to Yang Wudi's arms. Yang Wudi subconsciously took it. Boy, what are you doing? After he came to his senses, he looked at the soul bone in his hand, his face slightly stunned. Old Yang, just accept it with peace of mind. It's not that I don't want to absorb this soul bone, but I already have the right leg bone. Yes, Yibai already has the right leg bone. His right leg bone is also an even more precious 100,000-year-old soul bone, the 100,000-year-old blue silver emperor right leg bone. Besides, you've also played a significant role in successfully defeating these wolf bandits this time. My right leg bone isn't bad anymore, but Elder Yang, your soul power has already reached level 88, and you're almost there at level 89. This soul bone might even help you break through the barrier of level 90. With the immortal Great Kilo Tulip and 2 more soul bones, I don't believe we can't create a titled Douluo capable of fighting above their level. The titled Douluo Soul Breaking Spear, Yang Wudi, is far more meaningful than the soul Douluo Soul Breaking Spear, Yang Wudi. Yang Wudi listened to Yibai's words, his expression complex as he gazed at the soul bone in his hand. But Yang Wudi quickly accepted it, laughing heartily. Ha. Following you is truly the best thing I've ever done in my life. He felt it was the right thing to do. After all, Yang Wudi was the investor, while Yibai was the angel investor, having invested in 3 rounds. If Yang Wudi had formed his own faction, or joined another established sect, he likely wouldn't have received this treatment. This was entirely because Yibai and his group, a rising power, needed a titled Douluo to anchor the group. However, on this continent, titled Douluos, with the exception of Douluo, were largely independent, and even slightly stronger soul Douluos wouldn't seek to join a high-level soul master academy like Wuji Academy. Yang Wudi and Yibai were a perfect match. With Yang Wudi's strength, he lacked only a tiny bit of talent and opportunity to become a titled Douluo. Yibai, on the other hand, possessed resources he couldn't utilize, while they were in need of a powerful titled Douluo. This was a mutually beneficial partnership, in a sense. Yang Wudi, undeterred, stored the right leg bone he'd obtained from the Blue Wolf Bandit, intending to use it once his soul power reached level 89. Ideally, it would be used when he reached level 90. He had already made up his mind about young Yibei's gift. Upon his death, he would leave these soul bones to Wuji Academy. If he could truly become a titled Douluo, it would be a tremendous blessing. Furthermore, if he could achieve titled Douluo, the benefits to the entire POE clan would be immense. Perhaps in the future, the POE clan would even have a say in Wuji Academy. Yang Wudi had a clear understanding of the power of the Advanced Spirit Master Academy. It wasn't a one-man show of power dominated by a single attribute spirit family, but rather each family was responsible for a specific area. As long as Wuji Academy could grow into one of the continent's top powers, the POE clan would manage the Wuji Academy's elixir business, which would be enough to secure sufficient status within the academy. Furthermore, Yang Wudi was not the kind of person who would be ungrateful. He would always remember anyone who made an enemy of him, and he would always remember anyone who showed him kindness. Young Yibai still had some memory of the right leg bone he had found in the wolf bandit's right leg. This soul bone was called the Bloodthirsty Frenzy Hurricane right leg. The soul skill it granted was Bloodthirsty Frenzy, which instantly sent the bearer into a frenzy. While attack and defense are both increased by 100%, speed is also increased by 100%. The downside is that skills cannot be used. However, for Yang Wudi, his soul breaking spear is his greatest strength, and his soul skills are mostly used for auxiliary combat. Besides, he can naturally use his soul skills first, and then Bloodthirsty Frenzy. Secondly, this soul bone skill has a drawback. Bloodthirsty Frenzy can easily cause someone to lose their focus. This might be a drawback for others, but not necessarily for Yang Wudi. With a soul power level of 88 and a head soul bone, this isn't a problem at all. This soul bone skill will only make Yang Wudi even more powerful. Chapter 195 Jengsin City. After the incident with the wolf bandits, everyone continued their journey westward. Having arrived in the western reaches of the Heavendao Empire, how could they not visit Vast Sea City? Vast Sea City, Vast Sea City, the largest city in the western reaches of the Heavendao Empire, is also the largest coastal city and port city on the Douluo continent. Vast Sea City is built by the sea. This massive city, built along the sea, or rather, on a mountain by the sea, remains unshaken by the ebb and flow of the tides. The thick city walls are the hallmark of a first-level main city. However, they didn't stay in Vast Sea City for long. They had no need to go to sea, nor did they need to hunt sea spirit beasts for spirit rings. They came simply for the pleasure of it. Huo and Oscar, for example, participated in several matches at Vast Sea City's Grand Soul Fighting Arena. After all, they were curious about the differences between sea spirit masters and land spirit masters. Young Yibai, on the other hand, sold a considerable amount of goods in Vast Sea City, while also acquiring some of Vast Sea City's unique cultivation resources and precious metals. Since the beginning of his training, young Yibai has been searching for special metals, which are crucial to his future plans. Remarkably, in 8 months, young Yibai's spirit power had reached level 68, edging closer to the Soul Saint realm. Meanwhile, Yang Wudi's spirit power had reached the peak of level 88, just one step away from breaking through to level 89. After a good rest in Hanhei City to relieve their fatigue, they continued their journey. They journeyed south along the sea route, gaining experience and gaining new insights, all while seeing new sights and broadening their horizons. After 2 months, young Yibai and his companions finally arrived at Jengsin City, the final stop on young Yibai's journey. While forging may be a niche field, its existence is a legitimate one. An excellent and comprehensive high-level Spirit Master Academy requires talent in all areas, and forgers are indispensable. While forgers are not highly regarded within the Spirit Master community, they are considered a true talent by the major powers, especially the 2 empires and the Spirit Hall. Wars between empires are primarily waged by ordinary soldiers, and the weapons wielded by ordinary soldiers rely heavily on forgers. Furthermore, the armor crafted by forgers, endowed with spirit power, is extremely effective for spirit masters. The fact that the title of master craftsman still exists in the forging world proves that forgers are far from being despised by most spirit masters. Ordinary spirit masters are still interested in armor and weapons, but weapon masters simply place greater trust in their weapon spirits. Some arrogant individuals even belittle forgers, as if they were worthless. Jinxin City is just as bustling as Hanhei City, perhaps even more so. Yibai came to Jinxin City specifically to seek out Master Craftsman Lao Gao. While he didn't need Master Craftsman Lao Gao to craft him weapons and armor, Wuji Academy and the Xiandao Empire did. Furthermore, as a fellow Master Craftsman, Lao Gao, who had been in Jinxin City for a long time, was more acclaimed by many forgers than Tang Heo of the Haoshan sect or Taitan of the Li clan. While Tang Heo and Taitan may have the title of Master Craftsman, their contributions to the forging world were minimal. Lao Gao, on the other hand, could command the respect of the entire forging world. Wuji Academy needed a master craftsman to maintain its leadership, and Lao Gao perfectly met the requirements. It was just Yibai who had his eye on Lao Gao right now. Whether Lao Gao would eventually take a liking to Yibai and the others was another matter. With Yang Wudi present, Yibai and the others had no trouble meeting Lao Gao. Yibai and Yang Wudi went upstairs to find Lao Gao, while the others waited below. Yang Wudi and Lao Gao had a rapport, thanks to their Titan connections. What brings you, a busy man, to my territory of Jinxin City? Yibai and the others arrived just in time. Lao Gao had recently finished forging a piece of protective armor, so their presence wouldn't be a major nuisance. Lao Gao was short and rather stout, but no one had expected him to be such a renowned master craftsman. Lao Gao, long time no see. Yang Wudi had previously been in the Xingluo Empire, and had some contact with Lao Gao. The elixirs of the Poi clan were quite renowned. Furthermore, the forger's physical exertion in forging a weapon was considerable. The elixirs of the Poi clan are precisely what they need to restore their physical and spiritual strength. It's been a while. What have you been up to lately? Hahaha, I recently partnered with someone to invest in an advanced spirit master academy. No, our Advanced Spirit Master Academy just won the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition. Oh, could it be that Wuji Academy? Yes. So you've left the Crossing Luo Empire? Yang Wudi nodded. Then why are you here? Lao Gao looked at Yang Wudi in confusion. Old Lao, you've probably been harassed by the Spirit Hall, haven't you? Yang Wudi said calmly. As Yang Wudi mentioned this, Lao Gao's face visibly darkened with anger. Did you, too? Have you forgotten my feud with the Spirit Hall? Although the Spirit Hall isn't directly targeting my Poi clan anymore, those affiliated with it have been causing us a lot of trouble, Yang Wudi said with a sour look. The Fire Leopard sect even came to threaten my Poi clan. Huh. So you joined Wuji Academy? Oh, by the way, who is this young man? Lao Gao had noticed Yibai a long time ago, but he had been busy catching up with Yang Wudi. Afterward, he found a moment to ask. Hello, Master Craftsman Lao Gao. I'm the Dean of Wuji Academy, Yibai. Yibai? Lao Gao's brows raised slightly. I've heard of your name. You're the freak who absorbed a 10,000-year spirit ring with your 4th spirit ring, right? After Yibai participated in the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition, his fame spread widely among spirit masters across the continent. Of course, some admired him, while others harbored ill intentions. Many were greedy for the secret method of absorbing spirit rings beyond their level, and Yibai possessed the spirit bone, the ultimate treasure of the spirit master world. If it weren't for the strength displayed by Wuji Academy, these people would have taken action long ago. Hearing Lao Gao describe him as a monster, Yibai's mouth twitched slightly. Yang Wudi thought this description was very appropriate. But I didn't expect you to be the dean of this old goat. Lao Gao glanced at Yang Wudi as he spoke. So, what exactly are you doing here? Lao Gao placed 2 cups of tea in front of Yang Wudi and Yibai. No rush. Yang Wudi took the tea and took a sip. Old Gao, guess how much soul power I have now? Chapter 196 The Master Craftsman's Building. HMM. Lao Gao glanced at Yang Wudi with a hint of confusion. What are you trying to say? Your soul power, isn't it just over level 80? Could you possibly be a titled Douluo? Lao Gao didn't want to bother with Yang Wudi. If Yang Wudi was just looking for this, he might as well get right into forging the next piece of equipment. I, Yang, am already a level 89 soul Douluo. How is that possible? Lao Gao clearly remembered that the last time he'd seen Yang Wudi, his soul power was only at level 82, and that was 4 years ago. In 4 years, his soul Douluo realm had leaped 7 levels. It was simply unbelievable. Old Lao Gao, do you think I have any reason to deceive you? I, Yang Wudi, have lived an upright life and disdain to lie. He, Yun Yibai, the Dean of Wuji Academy, is 20 years old and already a level 68 Soul Emperor. And down here in this building, His Majesty Dugu's granddaughter, Dugu Yan, is 23 years old and 68. Yang Wudi recounted the accomplishments of Wuji Academy's outstanding spirit masters. Lao Gao, listening to Yang Wudi's words, couldn't help but acknowledge the excellence of this young spirit master, declaring him a highly reliable successor to the academy. But he still wasn't sure why Yang Wudi was talking so much to a blacksmith like him. He had no desire to get involved in the trivialities of the continent. He simply wanted to quietly forge tools. You've said all this, aren't you trying to entice me into joining your Wuji Academy? Lao Gao looked at Yang Wudi with a strange expression. He had a glimpse of what was going on. Wasn't Yang Wudi just quietly trying to sell him on the promise of Wuji Academy? I won't hide it from you. We've come here to invite you to join our Advanced Spirit Master Academy. Come on, forget it. I'm used to being a free spirit. Don't bother, I won't go. Old senior, the current situation is no longer a matter of whether you want to participate or not. The conflict between the Spirit Hall and the two empires will break out sooner or later. No one can remain unaffected by this trend. If Yun Yibai and the others were to offer something like spirit bones to a master craftsman, it would seem like a bad deal. And Lao Gao was notoriously stubborn, even ignoring the Spirit Hall's courtesy. In the original timeline, it was Tang San's hidden weapon that attracted this indifferent master craftsman. In the end, it's unknown what conditions or items Yang Wudi and Yun Yibai offered that impressed Lao Gao, but he eventually joined Wuji Academy. Of course, basic financial support and rare metal resources were also part of the conditions. In reality, Lao Gao's soul power was only at the Soul Sage level, yet even at the Soul Sage level, he was already a master craftsman. However, Soul Sage was essentially the limit of his soul power cultivation. If forging stronger instruments didn't require soul power to sustain the forging process, Lao Gao might have devoted even more energy to it. Lao Gao was obsessed with forging, and his mastery lay in all aspects of it. The instruments forged by soul masters were, in a sense, another form of soul guide. Through a series of complex processes and unique forging techniques, the forger forged rare metals into shape. The resulting instrument was more than a simple accumulation of metal. It embodied the forger's unique understanding and application of soul power. To forge stronger instruments, the forger infused their soul power into the material, resonating with the metal's molecules. This resulted in armor and other equipment suitable for high-level soul masters. Soul guides, however, were a profession above forging. Metal first needed to be forged into shape, and then the soul guide core arrays were engraved within the shaped metal to transform soul power. What about soul guides? Soul guides represent a more advanced and complex form of technology in the future of the Soul Master world, elevating a Soul Master's control over soul power to a whole new level. Soul guides are more than a simple fusion of metal and gemstones. Their core lies in the intricate soul guide circuits and core formations within them. Through specific arrangements and combinations, these circuits and formations can guide, amplify, and even transform the soul power within a soul master, unleashing power far beyond its normal capabilities. The crafting of soul guides requires not only the forger's exceptional metalworking skills, but also a profound understanding of soul power and precise control. In the future Soul Master world, possessing a high-quality soul guide will often mean gaining the upper hand in battle. The common thread between these two is that both soul guides forged by soul masters and soul guides crafted by soul engineers can transform, store, and release soul power to a certain extent, enabling a variety of remarkable functions. These soul guides, forged by forgers and crafted by soul engineers, have become valuable aids for soul masters in battle, training, and daily life, greatly enhancing their strength and convenience. However, the differences are also quite significant. First, in terms of craftsmanship, blacksmiths focus more on directly hammering and shaping the metal, forging it into the desired shape and texture by removing impurities and enhancing its properties. While this forging method may appear rough and violent, it actually reflects the blacksmith's profound understanding and mastery of both metal and soul power. Each hammering reshapes the metal's internal structure, and each impurity removal enhances its purity. During the forging process, blacksmiths must not only maintain extreme focus and patience, but also constantly adjust their forging techniques and soul power output according to the changes in the metal, to ensure the final forged instrument is in optimal condition. Soul guides, on the other hand, focus more on engraving core soul guide arrays into the metal, using complex array designs and precise engraving techniques to transform and store soul power. Second, in terms of performance, tools forged by blacksmiths often prioritize practicality and durability, capable of withstanding greater impact and wear and tear, while maintaining stable performance. Soul guides crafted by soul masters, on the other hand, focus more on the precise control and diverse application of soul power, enabling more complex and sophisticated soul manipulation. Furthermore, forgers and soul masters pursue different levels of refinement and goals when crafting tools and soul guides. Forgers prioritize the ultimate pursuit of metal materials and forging techniques, hoping to create ever more perfect tools through continuous refinement and improvement. Soul masters, on the other hand, prioritize in-depth research and exploration of soul power and magic arrays, hoping to create ever more powerful and practical soul guides through continuous innovation and breakthroughs. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197. Yang Wudi breaks through level 90. After the training ended, and they returned to Wuji Academy, everyone went back to their own training. Feng Xiaoshan headed for Hurricane Canyon, and the others followed suit. It's worth noting that after Yan Yibai and the others left Shuayu City, the Xianshu Academy had already transferred a small number of its most talented students to Wuji Academy. Wuji Academy also completed another year's enrollment. Wuji Academy continued to develop positively. Wuji Academy's actions hadn't escaped the notice of the Spirit Hall. However, Wuji Academy's absorption of the three academies was carried out under the guise of cooperation and exchange. Furthermore, the small number of elite students from Blazing Fire Academy, Divine Wind Academy, and Xianshu Academy who arrived at Wuji Academy did temporarily confuse the Spirit Hall. The Spirit Hall was confident that they wouldn't believe a high-level Spirit Master Academy would dare to engage in such an agglomeration under their noses. And so, another year and a half passed. Within the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, Yan Yibai sat quietly to the side. Within the yin-yang eye, near the center of the ice and fire hot springs, Yang Wudi sat cross-legged. Judging from the fluctuations of soul power emanating from Yang Wudi's body, he was at a critical juncture. Dugu Yan and Dugu Bo were not currently within the yin-yang eye of ice and fire. Dugu Bo had taken Dugu Yan to attend to matters, presumably related to their family spirit, the Azure Phosphorus Serpent. Yang Wudi had been cultivating within the yin-yang eye for a year and several months, his soul power having become more condensed thanks to the unique environment there. Perhaps due to the immortal treasures he had ingested, Yang Wudi could clearly sense the shackles that were hindering the further advancement of his soul power. To be frank, without the immortal treasures and soul bones, Yang Wudi might never have felt this sense of restraint in his lifetime. Sensing the opportunity for a breakthrough, Yang Wudi, without hesitation, began absorbing the bloodthirsty hurricane right leg bone gifted to him by Yan Yibai, to aid him in breaking through the shackles of level 90. Yang Wudi's breakthrough had already lasted 3 days and 3 nights. In truth, Yan Yibai wasn't worried at all about Yang Wudi failing to break through. Even if he were to find a soul Douluo, a single immortal item and 2 soul bones would surely be enough to propel a soul Douluo to the title Douluo realm. It was simply that, as a soul Douluo, Yang Wudi's value was greater, making him a more worthy investment. There weren't many soul masters capable of rivaling a title Douluo with a soul power of over 80 at the soul Douluo level. If it weren't for his limited talent, Yang Wudi would have been no less capable than Tang Heo. During Yang Wudi's breakthrough, the entire heavenly and earthly energy surrounding the yin-yang of ice and fire seemed to fluctuate with his breathing. Yang Wudi's expression alternated between solemnity and relaxation, and a visible aura of soul power gradually formed around him. For 3 days and 3 nights, Yibai remained by his side. While he believed Yang Wudi's breakthrough to titled Douluo wouldn't be a problem, his actions were reasonable given the circumstances. As time passed, the air around him seemed to grow thicker with the energy surging within Yang Wudi. The unique natural energy of the ice and fire hot springs intertwined with the fluctuations of soul power emanating from Yang Wudi, creating a bizarre and spectacular spectacle. Finally, on the morning of the 4th day, as the first rays of sunlight penetrated the dense vegetation and shone into the yin-yang of ice and fire, Yang Wudi's body shook violently, and an unprecedentedly powerful aura burst forth from him. Yang Wudi's eyes fluttered open, his captivating gaze like 2 tangible blades. 90 levels. I never thought Yang Wudi, could truly reach the realm of titled Douluo. Yang Wudi averted his gaze, thinking to himself. Honestly, how could he not be thrilled to have broken through to the titled realm? Yang Wudi suppressed the throbbing in his heart and stood up, his figure appearing even taller. An invisible pressure emanated from him, causing the air around him to freeze. Congratulations, Elder Yang, on successfully reaching the titled realm. Upon seeing Yang Wudi's breakthrough, Yibai immediately offered his congratulations. Yang Wudi smiled upon hearing this, unfazed by the disparity in status brought about by the difference in their soul power. He approached Yibai and patted him on the shoulder. I was able to break the soul-breaking spear's long-standing shackles, all thanks to your help. Whether it's this yin-yang of ice and fire, so ideal for cultivation, or the immortal artifacts and soul bones you gifted me. Yang Wudi paused for a moment before continuing. If I hadn't met you, none of this would have been possible for me. If I hadn't accepted your invitation, I wouldn't have dared even dream of reaching the realm of titled Douluo. Ha 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 ha. By the way, Elder Yang, what's your current soul power? This was a question Yibai was particularly concerned about. After Yang Wudi successfully broke through, if the extra soul ring gained when a soul-breaking spear soul master reached soul sage status automatically became Yang Wudi's 9th soul ring, then Yang Wudi's soul power would be at least level 91. Conversely, if Yang Wudi's soul power was still at level 90, then it would mean he still needed to hunt soul beasts and obtain their spirit rings to become a true titled Douluo. If inherent spirit rings counted, then Yang Wudi's soul power, after absorbing the soul bone, was definitely higher than level 90. I know what you mean. Although the Soul Breaker Spear's Soul Master possessed a soul ring at Soul Sage level, my soul power stagnated after reaching level 90, and that extra soul ring didn't directly become my 9th soul ring. In other words, I still need to hunt a soul beast's soul ring to replenish my 9th soul ring. Only after absorbing the soul ring can I be considered a true titled Douluo. What? Boy, are you targeting my 9th soul ring too? Yang Wudi looked at Yibai with a half smile. Yibai smiled. Yibai's smile stunned Yang Wudi. Do you really have a goal? After Douluo and Yan returned to the yin-yang eyes, Yang Wudi and Yibai were sitting by the ice fire hot springs, eyes closed, quietly absorbing the rich energy of heaven and earth for cultivation. The energy of the ice fire hot springs seemed to possess spirituality, seeping into their bodies and nourishing their soul power. Douluo had just keenly sensed something was wrong after entering the yin-yang eyes, but he couldn't put his finger on it for a moment. But the moment he saw Yang Wudi, he knew the reason. Have you broken through to the titled Douluo? Chapter 198 The Three Brothers of the Thousand Tyrant King. You've broken through to the titled Douluo realm. Douluo's words caught Yan's attention. She glanced at Yang Wudi, who was standing not far away beside Yibai. She hadn't expected that Yang Wudi would reach the titled Douluo realm just after she and her grandfather, Douluo, had been out for a while. Ha 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 ha. I've been waiting for you for so long. Douluo raised his eyebrows and said, congratulations. Congratulations, Senior Yang, on breaking through to the titled Douluo realm. Yan congratulated him heartily. Old poisonous creature, I'll need your help this time, Yang Wudi said sternly. No problem. Douluo couldn't hide the joy in his eyes. The addition of a title Douluo to Wuji Academy not only strengthened the academy's foundation, but also meant a lighter burden on his shoulders. On this treacherous continent, relying on just one person would be too much for Wuji Academy. The more talented young Yibai and his team were, the more they would attract the covetousness of the Spirit Hall. Sometimes he still worried that his own strength wasn't enough to protect young Yibai and the others. It just so happened that young Yibai's soul power had also broken through to the soul sage level, allowing them to travel to the Stardao Great Forest to obtain spirit rings. 2 years earlier, young Yibai had already begun preparing for his and Yang Wuda's spirit rings. The soul beast young Yibai had chosen for his 7th spirit ring was the 1000 Jun Ant King. Yes, those same 3000 Jun Ant Kings that had been expelled from the Stardao Great Forest by the 200,000-year-old Beast Kings, the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape. Generally speaking, soul beasts like the 1000 Jun Ant become the ultimate kings of the 1000 Jun Ant class after cultivating for 10,000 years. However, these 3000 Jun Ants cultivated by devouring other beings. Their cultivation method mirrored that of the dark demon evil god Tiger and Bibidan. 1000 Jun Ants possessed an incredibly tenacious vitality, exceptional defensive capabilities, and immense resistance to blows. Their strength, in particular, was immense, exceeding their physical proportions. However, as soul beasts, they lacked any inherent soul skills. In any soul beast forest, they often become prey to other soul beasts. While their defenses are impressive, they are ultimately limited, and they lack offensive means. While they possess considerable strength, they struggle to fully utilize it. Of course, many soul beasts disdain the 1000 Jun Ants. After all, breaking their defenses before consuming them is a bit tiring. Precisely because of their tenacious vitality, these soul beasts are so numerous in the soul beast forest. However, cultivation is a process of quantitative change that leads to qualitative change. After 10,000 years of cultivation, the 1000 Jun Ants undergo a remarkable evolution. These 3000 Jun Ant brothers were originally the best of their kind, but they rapidly increased their strength by constantly devouring 1000 Jun Ants of their own species, reaching their current 90,000 years of cultivation. These 3000 Jun Ant Kings are undoubtedly no match for the dark demon evil god Tiger. If young Yibai had chosen a more ordinary soul ring, he wouldn't have chosen this soul beast. However, the requirements for the 7th soul ring are relatively low for a soul beast, as the 7th soul skill only has one effect, the martial soul true avatar. Every spirit master, regardless of the spirit ring they acquire, will experience a qualitative transformation upon reaching level 70, truly merging their spirit with their body, allowing them to unleash their true spirit form. Once unleashed, their true spirit form fully transforms into their spirit form, exponentially increasing their power. All existing spirit skills will then be nearly doubled in power. In fact, the power of their true spirit form is largely dependent on the age of their spirit rings. The higher the age, the greater the effect. Given the scarcity and difficulty of dealing with 100,000-year spirit beasts, the 1000 Tyrant King, a 90,000-year-old beast with a cultivation level approaching 100,000-year-old, is undoubtedly the best choice. While Wu, a humanoid among the 100,000-year-old spirit beasts, exists, Wu resides deep within the core of the Stardao Great Forest, protected by 200,000-year-old beast kings, the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape. For them, relying solely on Douluo and Yang Wuda is sheer wishful thinking. Even Bibidan, including herself, needed 3 title Douluo, dozens of soul Douluos, and even more soul sages, before she even considered targeting the 100,000-year-old Azure Bull Python and the 100,000-year-old Titan Giant Ape. After selecting his target soul beast 2 years ago, young Yibai began searching for information on the 3000 Tyrant Kings. Needless to say, the expense involved is immense. Money talks. If you pay enough, people will work tirelessly for it. Fortunately, effort pays off. Despite young Yibai's substantial investment, he finally achieved his desired results. Sometimes, it's not that you can't access certain information, but rather that you haven't paid enough to motivate those driven by profit. Those 3000 Tyrant Kings had the audacity to challenge the 100,000-year-old Beast King. Although they were utterly defeated by the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape, and driven from the core of the Stardow Great Forest, they still remain active within its boundaries. After all, for these 3000 Tyrant emperors, no hunting ground could be better than the Stardow Great Forest. Moreover, as long as they stayed out of the core of the Stardow Great Forest, and avoided being discovered by the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape, they would dominate the outer reaches of the forest. This wasn't just their three selves. Even the dark demon evil god Tiger, which had become Yibai's sixth spirit ring, shared this sentiment. The Stardow Great Forest was vast, situated at the center of the continent, straddling the two empires of the Heavendao Empire and the Crossing Luo Empire, stretching east and west. Any powerful spirit beast that had once lived there wouldn't want to look elsewhere. After all, these were three 90,000-year-old spirit beasts. They had once battled the 100,000-year-old Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape, and though they were forced to flee, the 1000 Tyrant emperors of those days were completely different from the current 90,000-year-old 1000 Tyrant emperor. The 90,000-year-old 1000 Tyrant emperor had a dark golden armor, offering exceptional defense. Furthermore, he possessed even greater strength. In the original timeline, he was capable of carrying the artifact, the sea god Trident. Even ordinary titled Douluo would likely be no match for them. The 3000 Jun Ant Kings can fly, greatly enhancing their maneuverability. Furthermore, these 3000 Jun Ant Kings are brothers, sharing a common wisdom. When they unite, they are formidable. The 3000 Jun Ant Kings reside southeast of the Xingdao Great Forest, adjacent to the Xingluo Empire, but far from Xingluo City, its political center. They reside within this mixed zone, where they are safe from the attention of the Xingdao Great Forest's Beast Kings, and can still meet their basic devouring cultivation needs. Therefore, Wuji Academy has a rather impressive lineup for this Xingdao Great Forest soul hunt. Chapter 199, Departure to the Star Forest to Hunt Souls. Douluo and Yang Wudi, two titled Douluos, Niu Gao and Feng Buayu. 2 soul Douluos from Wuji Academy, and external aid, Yu Yuantang, the Dean of Thunder Academy and a level 84 soul Douluo. Since they were from the same family, and shared the same martial spirit, Yibai went to Thunder Academy to find this veteran. This family elder had always managed Thunder Academy, rarely intervening in family and sect affairs. Including Yibai himself, there were 5 soul sages. While the 3000 Jun Ant emperors weren't true 100,000-year-old soul beasts, the combined power of 3 90,000-year-old 1000 Jun Ant emperors was more powerful than the average 100,000-year-old soul beast. Everything was about stability. Douluo's soul power had now reached level 94. The effects of the immortal items were truly remarkable, and with the unique training ground of the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, Douluo shouldn't have much trouble reaching level 95. With his control type skills, he could hold off even one of the 3000 Jun Ant Emperor brothers. As the main force in this battle, Yang Wudi, a master of the assault system, was tasked with slaying the 1000 Tyrant King. The 3 soul Douluos and several soul saints were tasked with intercepting the final 1000 Tyrant King and assisting Yang Wudi in defeating the first. Thus, the group of 10 set out for the Stardow Great Forest. They departed from the Heavendao Empire and headed east, then descended from the eastern part of the Heavendao Empire into the Crossing Luo Empire, and from there, entered the Stardow Great Forest. A 90,000-year spirit ring. Yibai, are you sure you can absorb it? Everyone had already entered the Stardow Great Forest. After all, this was their junior, so Yu and Tang couldn't help but be concerned. According to the typical spirit ring absorption age, the maximum absorption age for a 7th spirit ring is around 50,000 years. While Yibai's exploits of absorbing spirit rings beyond the age limit were known to the Blue Lightning Tyrant clan, Yibai chose a spirit ring of 90,000 years. This was 40,000 years higher than the commonly known 7th spirit ring age of 50,000. Elder Yutang, I dare to do this, only because I'm certain of my abilities. I also cherish my life. Although Yu Yuantang oversees Thunder Academy's affairs, his seniority and strength are already on par with those of an elder of the Blue Lightning Tyrant clan. To be honest, elder, my 6th spirit ring was taken from a terrifying 60,000-year-old spirit beast. 60,000 years. Yibai's calm words shocked everyone. Niu Gao and Feng Buayu were the most impressive. Niugeo's 8th spirit ring was also 70,000 years old, which was not bad, but Feng Buayu's was 60,000 years old. Niugeo had enlisted the help of Yang Wudi when he broke through to the Soul Douluo realm, so his 8th spirit ring was a bit older. Without help, his 8th ring would likely be even younger. Even Titan of the Power Clan's 8th spirit ring was taken from a 1000 Titan Ant King. However, that 1000 Titan Ant King was only 30,000 years old. Yan Yibei's words truly shocked everyone present. Yu Yuan Tang, just be aware. He then silently sighed. The difference between genius and madness is truly a matter of thought. He couldn't help but recall Yan Yibei's past deeds in the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. Those strange behaviors seemed perfectly reasonable now. According to the information Yan Yibai had already revealed, the age of spirit rings absorbed was related to one's physical fitness and mental strength. The stronger these two were, the longer the spirit rings could be absorbed. So, wasn't Yan Yibei's frantic physical training back then justified? Yu Yuan Tang's actions were a classic example of the saying, the poor in the city are ignored, while the rich in the mountains have distant relatives. Before Yan Yibai became famous, no one paid any attention to his past deeds. As for why Yan Yibai knew about the 1000 Jun Ant King, to be frank, it's easy to make up a logical story. After all, Yang Wudi, Douluo, and Yu Yuan Tang didn't know the details. The exact hiding place of the 3000 Jun Ant King brothers was still very secretive. Those who accepted Yan Yibei's generous rewards expended considerable effort in their search. They even went out of their way to gather extensive information on this spirit beast. Because the 1000 Jun Ant's status is similar to that of blue silver grass, there's both a wealth and limited information on it. The vast majority concerns 1000 Jun Ant Kings, those with cultivation exceeding 10,000 years. Naturally, the scarcity concerns ordinary 1000 Jun Ants. Like blue silver grass, 1000 Jun Ants, like blue silver grass, are considered useless by many spirit masters on the continent. Since they are useless, there's no point wasting effort on research and analysis. The 3000 Jun Ant King brothers are difficult to find, but fortunately, Yan Yibai had provided some clues. As usual, suspicions are not enough. Others will simply assume you've seen them in person. The 3000 Jun Ant King brothers are hiding in a hollow valley southeast of the Stardao Great Forest. This is a rare dry valley in the Stardao Great Forest, devoid of greenery. Although small in size, the temperature is several times higher than elsewhere. Within the Xingdao Great Forest, there are numerous small, unique areas with similar environments. The higher temperatures create a fiery landscape, a stark contrast to the lush green forest beyond. This unique location stems from the fact that the underground veins run very close to the upper earth, resulting in extremely high temperatures and a sandstorm-like effect. Looking at this environment, Niugeo couldn't help but ask, Yibai, are you sure this is the place? Before arriving, upon learning that their target was the 90,000-year-old 1000 Jun Ant Emperor, they had specifically researched information on 1000 Jun Ants. They had never even seen a 10,000-year-old 1000 Jun Ant Emperor, let alone a 90,000-year-old 1000 Jun Ant Soul Beast. And from what they had learned, it seemed the 1000 Jun Ants didn't appreciate this kind of living environment. Old NIU, from what I've heard, this is where the 3000 Jun Ant Emperors are hiding. Yan Yibai had previously fabricated a story about the time and location at which he had seen the 3000 Jun Ant Emperors, and he had also recounted his search for them. 90,000-year-old soul beasts didn't stay in the core area of the Stardao Great Forest, but ran to this kind of place instead. I really don't understand. The strong prey on the weak. Maybe they were expelled from the core area of the Stardao Great Forest because they failed in the battle for dominance in the Stardao Great Forest. If that's the case, they have already cultivated for 90,000 years and have broken through the 100,000 year limit. I think they should go back for revenge. Hehe, I'm afraid they don't have this chance. They have already set their sights on these three so-called 90,000-year-old 1000-tier Ant Kings. They have made such a big fuss, and it would be too embarrassing if they don't take them in. Chapter 200, show up and be instantly. They're right here. The footprints on the ground here prove it. Yan Yibai had somehow shifted to the other side, where the ground was thick with deep, dense footprints of spirit beasts. They had all followed Yan Yibai out of trust, and Yan Yibai certainly wouldn't lie to them about such a matter. While the evidence wasn't conclusive, they were already here, so whether or not it was true could be put aside. Let's give it a try. Niu-Geo pounded his fist, his lips curled up. Niu-Geo's spirit immediately possessed the plate-armored giant rhino. 8 spirit rings emerged one by one. As Niu-Geo released his spirit, the others had already separated, waiting for him to force them out before striking. After possessing him, Niu-Geo lifted his foot and stomped heavily on the ground. Bang! A resounding explosion, like an earthquake, shook the ground violently. Dust flew, and the air around him seemed to be ripping apart by the force. Each of Niu-Geo's steps felt as heavy as a mountain. His power, amplified infinitely through the plate-armored giant rhino's spirit, impacted the earth directly. Squeak! Along with the ground's tremors, the sharp, deep voice of a distant spirit beast echoed. Sure enough, there's something there. Yu Yuantang stared intently at the ground, shattered by Niu-Geo's immense force. The hidden being beneath the earth seemed enraged by the sudden surge of power, or perhaps felt threatened, and began to stir. It's coming, Yang Wudi declared gravely. Everyone was a high-level spirit master, well versed in sensing these spirit beasts. They could all sense the creature about to break free. This unknown being had a powerful aura, and 3 of them existed. Judging from the current situation, it must be as young Yibai had predicted. The 3,000-headed Ant Kings were indeed here. Even as Yang Wudi warned, Douluo, Yu Yuantang, and even young Yibai had already unleashed their spirits, ready to annihilate the subterranean entity the moment it surfaced. Bang, bang, bang. 3 earth-shattering explosions echoed as something emerged from the ground. Though the soul beasts had emerged from the depths, they were greeted with a formidable gift. Yang Wudi and Douluo, 2 titled Douluos, 3 soul Douluos, and 5 soul sages unleashed their strongest ranged attacking spirit abilities upon the emerging soul beasts. With each successive spirit ability, the space instantly filled with various element and energies. Lights flashed, thunder roared, and a powerful surge of spirit power permeated the air. 8th spirit skill, green phosphorus light. Douluo's green phosphorus snake emperor spirit instantly erupted in a faint green light. This light, imbued with a deadly toxic and corrosive force, slashed fiercely like the grim reaper scythe towards a 1,000-tier ant emperor. Wherever the green light passed, even the air rustled with corroded energy, hissing. 6th soul skill, break. Yang Wudi's soul-breaking spear thrust out like lightning, its tip condensing with terrifying power and sharpness, aiming directly at the vital point of another 1,000-tier Ant King. The sparks created by the friction between the spear tip and the air seemed to foreshadow the devastating impact of this blow. 5th soul skill, blue lightning dragon speed. Yu Yuantang transformed into a streak of blue lightning, his blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial spirit displaying ultimate speed and power. Like a true dragon, he launched a swift attack against the 3rd 1,000-tier Ant King. The other soul skills were equally formidable. They unleashed their 5th and 6th soul skills, their powerful soul force transforming into a variety of attacks, overwhelming the 3,000-tier Ant Kings. 6th soul skill, dark demonic thunder prison slash. Young Yibai wielded the thundering blade and slashed, a black sword beam imbued with the boundless power of lightning piercing the sky. Every attack type Soul Master possesses a ranged attack soul skill, though each Soul Master's ranged skills vary in strength. 10 different soul rings hurled themselves at the newly emerged soul beasts. Bang, bang, bang. Amidst a series of roaring sounds, the 3 newly emerged soul beasts were struck hard. Squeak, squeak. Angry shrill cries rang out, piercing the ears. Hearing the soul beasts' powerful angry cries, Yang Wudi and the others realized their attacks might not have had much effect. Sure enough, the next moment, 3 dark golden shadows suddenly burst out from the smoke, each heading in a different direction. Each of these 3 shadows' directions contained other beings. As the 3 soul beasts emerged from the smoke, everyone could clearly see that they were none other than the 1,000 young ants. Each of the 3,000-tier ants, approximately 3 meters long, was covered in a dark golden carapace. Each possessed 6 sturdy powerful legs, and atop their heads, 6 eyes too large and 4 small limiting a faint green glow. This confirmed that Yang Wudi and his companions' attacks had indeed been ineffective. The dark golden hue on their bodies became increasingly pronounced. However, their energy remained entirely contained within, showing no sign of radiating from their bodies. These three spirit beasts possessed powerful perception. Spirit beasts like ants don't rely on sight to catch prey, relying instead on their superior senses. Yang Wudi had initially worried that the 3000 Tyrant kings would escape, and had even considered sending Niu Gao to stop them. But now, it seemed his fears were unfounded. Young Yibai was thinking, as expected of the 3000 Tyrant kings, they are so stubborn as to dare to challenge a 100,000-year-old spirit beast in a fit of rage. Truly stubborn. Facing the menacing onslaught of 3,000 Tyrant emperors, Niu Gao took the lead, lurching forward like a moving mountain as he charged directly at the leading soul beast. His plate-armored giant rhino martial spirit granted him astonishing defense and strength, but the 1,000 Tyrant emperor's immense strength attribute forced Niu Gao back mid-air. Such overwhelming power. This strength is even stronger than the old gorillas. These three soul beasts are going to be tough. It was no small feat. This 90,000-year-old 1,000 Tyrant emperor's ultimate strength could reach 100,000 jin. 100,000 jin of strength is truly remarkable. That's for a blood-moving realm powerhouse. Terrifying indeed. After Niu Gao intercepted the first 1,000 Tyrant emperor, Yang Wudi, wielding his soul-breaking spear, also stopped the other 1,000 Tyrant emperor attacking his soul saint. It was unclear whether this 1,000 Tyrant emperor was acting on purpose or simply by sheer luck. Douluo also took action. At level 94, approaching 95, his own soul power was more than enough to stop one of them. The others also took action quickly. Those who needed to assist in restraining the other ants also came up to assist Yang Wudi in dealing with the first 1,000 tiny ant king. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.